Hello there, YouTube. Let's make sure everything's good to go on the YouTube end, and then we can move over to Twitch and make sure everything's good over there as well. Up. Okay. I'm not 50 or older, and I wish that this ad didn't play. Thank you. All right, YouTube's up and running. We're going to boot up Twitch, make sure that's all good to go. Oh, naturally, get phone call right on time. Right on time. It does say that I'm live, but it is not popping up. There we go. Cool. Just gonna make sure. Cool. We're good to go. I'm gonna do chat only. Bop, and now we are in fact good to go. I don't think I have any announcements to go off of, but I will say that I might be the only DM here tonight. I'm not sure what's going to happen with the rest of the crew tonight, but it might just be me. I'll give them to their usual 8:15. It's usually a good catch-up time. It's a little bit more than 15 minutes because I usually sign on to do checks and stuff a little bit earlier than the stream is supposed to start, but it's all gravy. Everyone voted for delving with your DMs. I hope that Clubs comes tonight because I want to sing his praises in regards to our topic tonight. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to show. Like, a lot of my notes are literal conversations or messages that I've sent to other people. I don't know how many of those I want to share, like, on the screen. So I may end up turning on the camera, maybe? I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm thinking about it. This is just me talking to you guys. That's fine. In retrospect, should have put something fun on the PS5 so because you'll be able to see that screen behind me, but whatever. We'll see how far we get. I won't lie. I forgot that the subs thing will slide backwards because Twitch doesn't let you like set an automatic thing, and a lot of my subs are GIFs anyway, so they run out after a month. But it slid backwards. We were very close to completing the goal. I'm also very happy. I'll be so excited if we can hit 250 subs. Sorry, 250 followers. Wrong thing. I mean, if we could hit 250 subs, woo! What a difference there would be. That would be insane in the membrane, okay? Insane in the membrane, loco in la cabeza. What's up, Awaz? I'm also just hoping that other people show up so they can share their own stories of this happening to them because I love hearing those, okay? That gives me my lifeblood. My lifeblood. I wasn't expecting all the DMs to have voted for delving with your DMs, but I was like, oh, then I guess they all do have stories that they want to talk about. And like, I'm sure they all do. They're just not quite ready to share them, I guess, if that makes sense. And that's fine. Yeah, I know. They all, like, legit, all the regulars voted. And, okay, I won't lie to any of you. A lot of the times, most of the DMs don't vote in the poll. Sometimes even I forget to vote in the poll. So, like, you guys as the audience, you have a lot of weight in the poll. But this time, everyone was like, oh, yeah, I'm in. I was like, okay. We do like complaining, so... Complaining makes us feel good. But I was saying, I don't have a lot of, like, visual aids for this particular topic. Because, okay, so, You know what I will share since we're on this stream and stuff? Okay, this is what I'm going to share with y'all. Delving into your DMs, I just kept coming up with ideas. This isn't the only list, but hold on. I will show it to you. Why is it still set to game capture? Get out of here, dude. Will it show? It will show. Okay. Oh, God, that's gotta hurt. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Um, Interesting. The app that manages my watch was just like, I've developed uh, a fitness cue for you. I'm like, haha, no. But delving with your delving into your DMs as a solo sort of series, like I started making a list and haha, checking it many, many times. These were all topics that I would love to talk about as part of delving with your DMs. But now that we're as a group being like, oh yeah, oh everyone wants to complain. I'm like, oh okay, okay. Also, some of these could for sure. They don't have to be delving into your DMs. They could also end up being just like straight up show and tell topics as well, like the Verdant charts and stuff like that. I don't necessarily think they all have to be here, but like I have this, and then I have a folder full of like memes and excerpts from conversations that I would love to talk about at some point. So like, there's plenty of topics for this. I didn't intend for this to be a group activity, but it seems like everybody's got things to say, so that's fine. You're right though. I just wish they had showed up to say their things. What can you do? That's life. Also, I'm kind of glad you guys can't smell what I smell because I made chicken strips earlier and everything smells like my whole house smells like chicken strips and I'm just like, yummy. Oh yeah. Which is weird because I've been cooking out of this same bag of chicken strips and it didn't make the house smell like chicken strips before, just this one time. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna say no. That's a good smell. But we're gonna give them until 15 to show up. Clubs did say that there's a high chance he will just show up later than normal. I'm hoping he shows up because I want to sing his praises as a DM because he did something that like has stuck with me when he was running the campaign that me and DM Shin and a bunch of other people were in. And like that stuck with me as a DM, like something that I will always remember. I suppose that should also be a topic, but it's sort of kind of pre-built into this one, the one we're gonna do today. So I'm not like, I don't. I will probably need to talk about it too because listen. If it's just me talking about this one topic, I don't know if I can fill the 2 hours. Okay, that's funny. No, I can definitely fill the 2 hours. But it'll be harder than expected. If not, I might just share some other stuff that I'm working on. You better yell at them. Tell them we miss them. And they're all wonderful. And we love them all. Bum bum bum. But yeah, now we're just in the waiting phase. I should probably have moved tissues closer to me. I have a feeling my nose is gonna run very soon. It's so cold. Is it like, was it like in the negatives for you too, AWAS, last night? It was real feel -12 to -16 for me last night. And I'm just like, why? What have we humans done to this world to deserve this? Oh, wait! You know what? It's pretty warm. All things considered. I've been dripping the faucets just in case. So far, we haven't had any pipes freeze in this house. Knock on wood, but it's a nice just in case type scenario though. Actually, I don't think I've ever lived in a place that experienced that. Oh, I'm so sorry. Ugh. I was hoping Dex was gonna show up too because he's got some icy stories to tell as well. Oh, I did one of the tools that we went over in one of the show and tell episodes. I think it was like 2 or 3 question mark. Question mark lets you build stat blocks, and we're going to use it to build a new stat block for Dex's character since he wants to stick with this Ice Archon as his PC. Sorta, kinda. I could show him how it works while we're on this stream as well. That's fine. Show and tell stat block thing card. My brain is absolutely fried, y'all, and I apologize. I apologize. But yeah, I was talking about other players, and they were like, "Oh, we'll build a homebrew race in class for him," and I was like, You would appreciate this. Like I was explaining that in older editions, like you could pick a monster and play as them, and they had their own like level up scheme. And I was like, 5th edition doesn't really do that. I don't think 4th edition had that either. But like, you don't necessarily have to if the character's already built. Like, just use what he's got already, and then we edit it. So he won't be able to track his health digitally, like on D&D Beyond or anything, but I don't really think that's too much of a problem. And then I was like, yo, I have all these. When I first started one of the show and tells, I'm just going to show you guys all the player aids that I have. But when I first started DMing, I went and got like a bunch of dry erase character aids, and at the beginning I was handing them out to people to use, and then nobody ever used them. And so when I said to Dex, you won't be able to track your health digitally, I was like, oh, but physically you can use a dry erase marker that has like you use the marker, yes, but it's like a character marker that has your health and your AC and your spell slots and what have you. So I was like, oh, okay, he could definitely use that. I was like, oh my god, someone can actually use these player aids. And the more that like I am going through my own player aids, the more I'm realizing that I have so much stuff to help brand new players use, but like my players never use the aids. They don't even use the decks of spell cards that I give them. I specifically like give them cards for each of their spells, and they never look at them. Grimjack bought the Paladin class deck, and like he's opened the box once. Most of the time he just throws the cards on the floor. I'm like, okay. Somebody's got to go pick them up. The music I picked for this is like so mysterious. It's true. I haven't even finished cleaning up from, what was that, 2 weekends ago? Yeah. I've like barely started cleaning up. It's real bad. It's real bad. There's so much stuff down there. I think tomorrow or Wednesday, I was gonna tear down the adapt tabletop that I have set up, but then I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna turn the pulsing lights on it, and I'll film the last two God tier unboxings that I have to do. So I'm gonna do them. And I was like, I might as well just leave them on the table. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I'll have the lights pulse red because they're both the red class in God tier, which I don't remember. It's like assault or something. Um, they're the DPS guys. At some point though, because DT helped me do the videos, even though like he didn't follow any directions that I gave to him at all, which to be honest is not surprising anybody. Most of my table don't listen, but like he was like, "Yo, we should play this," and I was like, "Ah, are you're serious? Oh man, we're gonna now I gotta go buy the starter kit." Which I learned for God tier, there's two different starter kits, and basically they just give you different characters to play as. Like, you, most of the stuff you're buying for God tier is the expansions that I've been getting for like super cheap during Steamforged Games sales. So like if I get a starter pack, we'll have 12 different teams to play as, and I'm like, that's not bad to start with. Like, that's pretty good. I don't know if I intend to get any other teams either. I have all the minis that I think that I would ever want from God tier already, unless they make like a new wave. So 12 seems like a good number. This is just I was gonna say a mini skirmish game. Yes, they do in fact use miniatures, but I meant like the the skirmish team is very small. It's like 5 or 6 minis is your whole team. Unless you're picking like a big guy, like the tree folk has less minions. Some of the other guys have less minions as well. But it's like your leader, a couple of minions, and then a banner, which isn't necessarily always a flag. Sometimes it's just like something that's emblematic of your group, like a dwarven shield or some crystals. Another thing that I like to play at some point. At some point. I'm giving them 2 more minutes and then I'm just going to start. And that's about it. I hope they do show up. I hope somebody shows up at some point. It would be nice to have them for this. But I may. It's true. It's true. Okay. So Tales from the Table. And then we'll start afterwards. So, you know how my players have been how do I describe this? You know how my players have been fighting for their lives against an avatar of Cryonax for the last couple sessions? Well, they won their fight, and then when we were done, I was sending them DMs because they were getting psychic messages, telepathic messages just in their heads, and I was like, hey, you need to tell the rest of the group that they have to go. Like, this is Cryonax's turf. It's not like he just has one avatar here. Like, he could potentially have a million avatars. This is his home. He knows you're here. He knows you messed with his stuff. You gotta tell the rest of the group they need to go. They need to move. They can't wait here. And I just get a message back from ChatGPT that says, "Who's Cryonax?" And I was like, And then I sent that to Valley of Ageria, and she was like, "This is unacceptable. We need to sit them down and start a quiz. And for every answer that they get wrong, you're going to take something away from them. And when they have no items left, you're going to start taking away their levels. I don't care if they have to now survive at level 3, okay?" He spent the vast majority of the last session, assembling. I was like, what is the word I'm looking for? Yeah, assembling Warhammer figures. So like he was barely paying attention as is. He was also hella out of it. He called and said, "Hey, can I show up at noon?" Which is when everyone is supposed to be at my house to play D&D. We say noon so that hopefully people show up before like 4 p.m. But he called to say, "Hey, can I show up at noon?" And I was like, "You mean regular time?" "Absolutely." But that's the way it be sometimes. So, I think it's about time we get started with our real episode. So let me change the music a bit because we don't need to be mysterious anymore. We're just dropping this right on in. Because today, something I'd love to talk to you all about, and I figured all the other DMs would love to talk to you about this as well. But our topic of the day, things that we've learned, is that, okay, you all are sitting at the same table, but you have to understand as a DM, and I guess also I hope that players start to understand this as well as they go on playing. Like you as the DM are looking at the world from a different vantage point than the players are. So what you see happening at the table or in the story or in a mechanic is so very different than what your players see. So this meme is an easy way for me to just slip this in here. Like listening to your party spend an hour making plans built on false assumptions. It's not going to go the way that they think. And like this isn't necessarily like a I've given them something easy like Clubs always says. Okay. In regards to that, we were making fun of Laundry King because there was a session, I'm gonna say like 6, 7 sessions ago. He was playing chess online with people while we were playing the game. And like we came to this conclusion that it's better if the Laundry King is distracted. Like he plays better when he's distracted than he does when he's not. But like his version of distraction is not bothering anybody else. So it's like an okay kind of thing, if that makes sense. Like if your distraction is bothering other people at the table, like Grimjack's usually is, like that's not good. But if you're just doing yo thing at the table and you're still like paying attention enough to know when it's your turn and to do things, then I honestly think that's fine. Especially for the ADHD brain folks out there. But um yeah, like there's so many times where you think something is so simple but a player does not, or like you go in and like you can play the same mission, you can do the same thing over and over again. If you want to run a one shot and it's just the same story every time, it's probably going to end up being different every time because each player is coming to the table looking at the world differently than you are. You have like this macro view of your whole world around you. And the players don't have that. You hope that they get like enthralled and enthused enough to sort of like slither their way in. But you got to understand that you're looking at the table from different angles. And this can manifest itself in a myriad of ways. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hit this button right here. Boop. It's me. Oh, you know what I should have done? Okay, hold on. I hope. I think AI is. No, it's not. Okay, well, I'm gonna keep AI on so that it zooms in with me, and it'll probably be funny. We get a big kick out of this. Um, it's quite funny because it will follow me. But it will break at some point, so just let me know when it breaks, because it will. It always does. There's almost never a situation where it doesn't break. Um, but uh, like I said, it can manifest itself in a funny way, So I will share with you a funny way that this manifests. That would be this. So let me switch this over real quick. Oh, wait, hold on. Comp screen. Bam. This is actually a good way for me to do this. So I'm just going to show this, and then I'm going to switch back over. So this one. Okay. So you would know this because you like the history of the game. But like kobolds were the very first. So the button on there is AI, not AI. And I said to them, I was like, it's not AI because I can't train it. And they're like, well, we've already trained it. And I was like, that's not really how it works. And I'm 100% with you on this. It is not. It doesn't learn. It never learns. uh, but you would like I feel like this is it. Well, also because kobolds are little scaly kinds, so that also makes sense for you. But kobolds were the first people to have a note in a supplement or something that said if your players use something or set a trap, that means the creatures will learn how to use them too. So I was trying to explain to them that you know you guys are setting traps. The kobolds will use them. Kobolds are supposed to be smart, but everyone just uses them as like alternate goblins. And I don't know when that happened or why that happened, but like I guess it's boring if everybody's always fighting goblins. So they do kobolds as alternate goblins. Hopefully they're smarter and they're dealing with like draconic stuff most of the time. But they're clever. Their warrens, their dens are usually like they have all these traps built in. They have different like walls and pathways and what have you. Um, I I was trying to explain that, but instead all Grimjack got out of the conversation was they're setting claymores in tunnels, and I was like, I don't. I mean, maybe depending on like the level of technology in the world, I'm sure they can set all kinds of traps. Yeah, yeah. That's a very good way to put it. Like goblins will jump out the bushes like ha ha ha, ha! But a kobold will be like ha ha ha, ha, hope you step in that bitch. So yes, 100% agree. Uh, so sometimes you get like a funny way of people looking at the world different than you. Now I'm not saying that they can't make claymore equivalents because there are also choking on my own spit. There are people who make Nerf claymores, like really with the face front towards enemy, and they fill them up with cut up Nerf darts and rival balls. And when you step within range of them, they go and they just shoot everywhere. And so, like, sure, I'm sure a smart kobold could make something like that. I don't think that that's outside the realm of possibility, if that makes sense. But like, I'm just looking at it from a hey, you should probably know whatever you do, other creatures in the world can do too. And I also think a lot of homebrew supplements that we look at, yes, yes. A lot of like they're assuming only one side of the equation is going to be able to do something. But like if a creature can do it, probably there's a way for your party members to do it, and vice versa. Like it's not that like only heroes can do a certain thing. I mean, maybe if it's like attunement by a good aligned person, sure. But if you see something happen in the world, there's probably a way for you to also do that thing. And this one just happened to be a funny one that Grimble was like, they're setting claymores in the tunnels, which leads me to believe he thinks his group could make a claymore. As we have previously established, he barely knows how to pump the bellows in a forge, so there's no way he's building a claymore. Like it's not happening anytime soon. No, 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 no. But other times it happens in less funny ways. Where, okay, so as you guys know, I started in Lost Mines of Phandelver. And when you get to the Cragmaw hideout, I don't know what, Cragmaw, that was a weird way to say it. When you get to the Cragmaw hideout, I'm gonna switch back over right quick. Let me do comp screen. Bop. Fix this up. Bam, bam, bam. Here we go. This one's fine. Okay. So when you start Lost Mines of Phandelver, you go to the Cragmaw hideout, which does have traps in it, but I don't think the goblins were the ones who originally built the traps. You meet a bugbear in there for the first time. There's a bunch of goblins. And the way that our exploration of Cragmaw hideout went is they killed a bunch of goblins outside, and then they went in. They snuck around the back way, so they went to the right instead of the left. They found the bugbear. They released one of his dogs. They killed another dog that was in there. They killed the bugbear. And then they bluffed their way through the rest of Cragmaw hideout. So they met some other goblins that were on the other side in like the living quarters of Cragmaw hideout. And they were like, okay. The goblins are real stupid. So I think we can make our way through here. Okay. It happens. Sometimes the pupperinos die. It just happens. You can't save everybody. You gotta try your best to save as many creatures as you can. But sometimes it just be happening that way. So they go over to the other side. They bluff their way through this conversation. There's like a below the bugbear in that cave. There's like 2 or 3 goblins that have like a position of power, and one of them, I think they say in the book that he has a club. So I used a goblin mini that has a club, and we named him Dickbo. I don't know if his name in the book is actually Dickbo, but his name in our world is Dickbo. And Dickbo has become a recurring character in the campaign because he was like, you know what? I don't think he was the only one in the cave that rolled high enough to be like, I don't think these guys are on our side. I'm just putting that out there. And it turns out my players were not on the goblin side. No. So they trick him. And this is one of those like emerging storyline things that you always hope for in a campaign that you're running, where like that guy just he became part of the campaign now. Dickbo is around because they have not killed him yet. So the Laundry King happened to be okay. I'm coming out of chronological order. They tricked Dickbo. Dickbo does not like this. When he finds out, he's furious. He comes and kills some of the like goblins that sort of sided with my party back in the day, and now this happy like rival emergent storyline comes out where Dickbo now is a character that's alive in the world. They've run into multiple times. They have not been able to kill him yet. They almost did, but the player that and each time they meet him, he gets more and more powerful. Like I change his stat block and I give him new abilities. He's recently learned how to rage, which is fantastic. But he, so the Laundry King and him have like sort of a rivalry going on because the Laundry King became king of the Cragmaws. He killed, what's the king's name? Clarg? Or maybe Clarg is the bugbear in the cave. I don't know, whatever. He killed the king of the Cragmaws, and then he won a duel against a hobgoblin who should have been the leader, and now he's king of the Cragmaws. And so Dickbo hates the Laundry King. The Laundry King happened to miss a session, and the rest of the group voted that the Laundry King would beat Dickbo into submission and then leave him there. And the Laundry King, since then, has been like, I hate that you guys as a group voted that I would let him live because I wanted to smush him. Ooh, I think, yes. Oh my god, you know what the Neverhood is? Love that. Hold on, I'm going to look up Clark the Bugbear. Clark is Clark the Bugbear. Fandelver, thank you. He is. Yeah, Clark is the one in the cave. So I don't remember what the king's name is. Clark is the one in the Cragmaw hideout. Yo, the Neverhood is fantastic. Everything they do. Mwah. Skull monkeys. Mwah. All that. Fantastic. So, Laundry King's still a bit pissed that Digbo's still alive. He's like, I wanted to smash him last time. We were like, well, you should have been there. Like you should have come to the session. Sorry, you got outvoted since you didn't get to put in a vote. But anyway, before they had that battle, they knew they had gotten word that there were some goblin carts coming through town. And I got these 3D carts from Dungeon in a Box, and I used them. I slightly edited the stat blocks because they seem silly, but they're like goblin tanks, sort of. They have a little bit of magic in them. They have some tricks to them. And this is something that I've brought up, I think, probably in last episode or the episode before when I was talking about the bone wall. I can't speak. I don't know why. But wait, let me switch back over. So my players have this thing where when I tell them that whatever they did to this thing didn't deal full damage, like I'm trying to describe in world how they know that whatever this is has resistance, my players just give up. They're like, oh, this thing's immune to all damage. I'm like, that is not what I said at all. But it has happened so many times during my campaign. And Clubs had brought up a while back, he was like, yo, sometimes players decide that this is the thing, and they'll just keep doing that thing. And then they just never like get any further than that. They just stop. My players are like that. When something's resistant to something that they've done, they just stop hitting it. And I'm like, oh, why? Me, this is right on topic. It's not even me as the DM, just me as a player in a game. When I find out something's resistant to something I'm hitting it with, I just hit it with something else. And I'm going to say for sure, every single player in my party has multiple types of damage that they can deal. So like, it's not like they're only using, one of them only can do slashing, one of them only can do bludgeoning, one of them only can do piercing. DM Bacon tries to stick to mostly doing fire, but he does a lot of Eldritch Blast now, so he can do force and fire, should the situation call for it. But like, my players, once something's resistant and they hit it, sometimes they hit it twice with the same thing, and they're like, oh, clearly it's not going to take any damage. And I'm like, why? Why do you guys think that? Just hit it with something else. But me, as, yes, you got to diversify. You got to diversify your damage attacks, man. You got to be able to hit multiple things, man. So my players are very not big on that. That is something that happens all the time where I'm just like, I would just hit it with something else at this point. My players are like, nope, it's immune to damage. I'm just going to walk away. And it has led to them almost dying multiple times. And I'm like, I don't know why you guys aren't learning your lesson, but whatever. So there's that. Like, I'm looking at it from both the DM perspective of like, oh, there's a puzzle here to solve. You guys just are choosing not to solve it. But also me as who I am as a person. Like, it's how I play Dark Souls, how I play Elden Ring, where I can do like a little bit of everything. If something doesn't work, I'm going to try something else to figure out how it works. Yes! Yes, have different types of weapons. That's perfect. We have Goblin Slayer in our party. He's our ranger. He's got a Quiver of Alona, so you can put a whole bunch of different stuff in it. And he just like carries everybody else's weapons. Like if they have bolts or arrows or javelins or what have you, he keeps them in the Quiver of Alona, and then he can like hand them out to people on the go. So yes, 100% agreed. So I don't know why my party does that, but we're looking at it from a different perspective, I guess. So my party knows that these goblin carts are coming. These war machines are rolling on through. They know they're staying on the roads for the most part. They're like, oh, we know the path that they're going on. We're not quite sure of their destination yet, but we know the basic gist of the path they're going to take. So we gotta stop them on the way. And I was like, okay. My players have a banana phone, okay? It's a homebrew item. You get to make 5 sendings a day on it, okay? But it just looks like a normal banana to everyone else. So if you use it in front of someone, they have to roll a wisdom save, or they think you're crazy. They're like, there's no way that that banana phone is a magic item. A ring, ring, ring. Yeah, we do that. Yep. Somebody at the table inevitably has to go ring, 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 banana phone, ring, 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 banana phone. It's inevitable. It will happen. So they did all that. They used their 5 charges. A bunch of them have sending scrolls, so they started burning through those as well. They're telling everybody. They know that these are goblin carts. They know the goblin carts are coming down. They know that the leader of the goblins hates their guts. So they're telling everyone they think is on the pathway that these carts will probably take. They're sending to them. They're banana phoning them. They're like, yo, you gotta be ready. The goblins are coming. Okay, just be ready. Be good. Be ready. All right. And they send so many sendings. They use all 5 charges from the banana phone. They use all their sending scrolls. They're all ready for this. And then I'm like, is there anybody else? And they're like, no. I'm like, okay. And wouldn't you know it, the one place they were like, this offers no strategic value to them at all. There's no reason for us to tell the people who are living there that goblins are coming, because there's no reason that they would stop there. Happens to be what used to be the Cragmaw hideout. And I'm like, I don't... Listen, you got this guy who hates your guts, who used to live there. You stole his home. You lied to him. You, according to him, made him slaughter his own people. Um, Whether that's true or not really has no bearing on the rest of the conversation. But I was like, you didn't think one of the first places he'd want to smash and like kill all the people in would be the hideout? I don't know. My player's like, that place offers no strategic value to them, so there's no reason that they'll hit it. And I'm like, do you think all of them are smart? What in your time together with all of these gobos made you think that they only care about things that are of strategic value to them? They have pride, just like you guys would have pride over stuff like this, okay? You stole his house. You kicked him out. And you didn't think he would be mad about it? And they're like, wait, what? So the people who are currently in the cave, they went to Helm's Hold. I had the Spellscar genocide type thing happen, but my players, DM Bacon's character, is part of the Harpers that are in Helm's Hold, so he helped get a bunch of the Spell-Scarred and Plague Changed out of the city, but like they can't go back. So all those people who escaped the sewers in Helm's Hold needed a new place to go, and my players were like, yo, we got a cave for you. Take it. And now there's a bunch of goblins. There's some Plague Changed and Spell-Scarred goblins. There's some Plague Changed and Spell-Scarred kobolds, and also some regular human people that live in there now. So the people who are in there give my team, my adventuring party a call. They're like, I don't know how long we can keep the entrance closed, but like, there's a lot of goblins outside, and they are hammering the walls hard. And my players are like, wait, what? What? Why would they attack there? And I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Why would they attack there? You stole this guy's house. You pissed him off. You've beat him in combat like 3-4 times. He's pissed. Of course he's gonna attack there. You silly, silly adventurers. But like, I'm looking at it from the macro. Like, there's stuff happening all around. My players are just like, this is what I can see, what I need to do. So you gotta accept that. Like, that is a hard thing to learn, that not everyone is looking from the same angle that you are. Even though, as the DM, generally speaking, you have more, like, you've done way more research into the world and how the world functions. For sure, for sure. Um, so, within our party, we have we have two people who are harpers, but they're from different cells. So like they didn't know each other beforehand, and they didn't know that one another was a harper for like the first 6-7 sessions. And then we have a player who is part of the Zentarum and is like slowly, it's Valley Vajiri's character. She's like slowly being like, "Yo, the Zentarum sucks. I don't like any of like you guys' factions either, but like my faction has lied to me my entire life. They just want to use me." And I'm like, "Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Yep. Mhm. They're like, "Oh, you lore-wise you probably know them as the Black Network." But the Zentarum are like the crime lord faction, essentially. Not to be confused with Xanathar, who's also a crime faction, and then there's a little bit of like interplay between those two. Um, but like they're the Zentarum are like the major bad faction all across Faerun, um, I guess you could say. But they're also like split, and then I split them even further, and there's just so much going on. But yeah, we happen to have both Harpers and Zentarum in the same party. I don't know why I did the now Kith. I don't think they'll be Kithin. Um, but yeah, we have so, so much lore. There's so much lore in my 5+ year campaign. There's so much lore. But like, again, you have to figure out, you have to realize that as a DM, you're looking at the world differently than your players are. Sundarai. I don't know what that is. Oh, okay. I'm not going to pop this on screen because it has DM Makar's old screen name, and I don't want to give it away. So, I'm going to give you a different look, a different kind of perspective on this as well. This one involves Valley of Vajiria, but we deal with Nilbogs a lot in my campaign. Those are magically enhanced goblins. I don't know how much lore you guys want, but I love lore. So, canonically, they just happen when goblins get too organized. They just happen. They show up, and they're there to sow discord. That is their entire shtick. That's all they want to do. If you want to accept this lore as fact, because it's like a whisper in the world. But real canon lore, Maglubiet, the god of the goblins, killed most of the goblinoid pantheon, and he just straight up murdered them. That includes goblins and hobgoblins and bugbear pantheon. Like the vast majority of them, all dead. He killed them all. He just wanted to suck up all of their like, yum. He wanted it all. The fact that he could do this alone, very unlikely. He had a backer, and my campaign is I'm not going to say this in case one of my players watches this because they don't know. So whatever. We'll just say Maglubiet killed all the gods, but Whisper, he saved like 3 or 4 so he could subjugate them. But he kills all the other goblinoid pantheon gods. Blah, 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 blah. Minus 3 or 4. And he then... Whisper in the world is the trickster god of the goblinoid pantheon. Lived. Like, he set a trap so that he would die, but he wouldn't be deleted. He was! Thank you. Oh, I just realized we don't have the, huh. Wait, hold on. What's happening here? We're missing some stuff. Wait. Wait. Hold on. Let me get this. Boop. And this. Wait. I think it's this one. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I just realized they're missing. My bad. Oh, we could have seen this one go up too. That's fine. No. Touch. Oh, that's the wrong one. I need you to cascada every time we touch. Okay, cool. Boom. They're back now. Thank you for reminding me. So the trickster god of the Goblin Pantheon supposedly has survived. Think Jurassic Park. Something has survived. For those of you who are on YouTube are like, why did you just do that? I was told to touch tips, so I did. Anyway. Trickster god of the Goblin Pantheon dies. Set a trap. In my world, the Verdin, who has limited telepathy, but the way that normally limited telepathy is like you can only see bits and pieces of things, or like you see like one image that's really well defined. If it's not a thought or idea, it's just like one still image. But if other people who are psychic and are better at telepathy want to send her a message, she usually gets like a better view of things. So the way that I'm running Nilbogs is normally when a Nilbog dies, it's like essence, its magical essence like flies off and just goes into another nearby goblin. So like you can't actually get rid of a Nilbog. You can kill a Nilbog, but it'll just pop up somewhere else. So in my world, it tried to possess our Verdin. Verdin used to be goblins. They were touched by like the god of all chaos. Think like the one below all for chaos. Just happened to be going through a cave and was like, boop, and made all these goblins evolve into Verdins. So they killed their first Nilbog, and the spirit that came out of it tried to possess our Verdin, and our Verdin got to see this Nilbog-looking goblin smile as he was stabbed in the back with Maglubiet's big old axe. Just, and then the vision cracked like a mosaic. So my players are under the impression, this one is correct. They got this one right off the bat, that what makes a Nilbog is a piece of the trickster god. Like a small piece of the trickster god's essence is inside that goblin currently. Because you're not born a Nilbog. You just become one, seemingly at random. Like that's the official lore. So Verdin got that, and then she was out with willpower, was like, I'm not really a goblin, and like got rid of the possession. It would be cool though if you were playing a goblin and then you became the Nilbog and you got their abilities. That would be super cool, but it would also be really annoying for your DM because Nilbogs have some crazy abilities. Like if you have the intent to hurt a Nilbog, you have to roll a wisdom save, or you spend your turn praising the Nilbog. And a Nilbog base ability has a reaction where if you hurt it, it can choose to heal itself that much instead of taking damage. So like that's a cool, if you want to get possessed by something, a Nilbog is a pretty good choice. Like all things considered, it's a pretty good choice. So my players have a basic gist of Nilbogs. Okay, the Nilbog, I didn't realize, also ties into my last statement, my last story. My players insisted that you couldn't kill a Nilbog. They were immune to damage because of this reaction. Now, if you've played the game before, you know that you can only do a reaction once per turn unless you have some special ability. So my players would hit the Nilbog once. It would heal itself, or rather, regain HP up to the damage you were supposed to take. And then they'd be like, oh my god, he's invincible. Nobody ever thought of hitting him again. It's the first 3 times they met Nilbogs. They were like, oh my god, he's invincible. We can't kill him. They killed their first Nilbog by pushing it off a cliff. Like 2 of them tripped it to push it off a cliff. And then Chandra, DM Bacon's character, fireballed it as it hit the floor. Wasn't taking any chances. And that's how they killed their first Nilbog. It was very dead. It was so dead. But after that, they met another one. They're like, oh my god, they're invincible. How are we supposed to fight them? And I was like, what are y'all talking about? Like, he saw you do a thing and he said no. Why don't you? None of you have tried hitting him again. And like, I said it out of campaign, and my players were like, wait, we've only attacked him once per turn? And I was like, yeah. You've only successfully attacked him once per turn. Some of you have tried to attack him, but you've spent your turn praising the Nilbog, sure. But you've only actually like swung at him once per turn. You silly, silly folks. Like Club said, sometimes the whole party has this idea where like, I know that this is how it's supposed to work. And it's wrong. But they're like, I know this is how it's supposed to work. So we're just going to keep doing that over and over and over again. And like, the situation's probably not going to change, y'all. So what can I say? But we're looking at it from different angles. So I say all this to say that they were fighting a Nilbog. They were in sort of ship-to-ship combat at this point. They're fighting another Nilbog. And this Nilbog comes over. He has not fought anybody. He's just been walking around being annoying to... They're like assaulting an island. So everything from the goblins is already docked. There's a bunch of goblins and hobgoblins and other weird like aberration goblins and other stuff on the island. And this Nilbog's there. And he has not joined combat up until this point. We're like 3 rounds into combat. He hasn't done anything but be annoying to people because that's what Nilbogs do. So I have this Nilbog walk closer to the group. And when I have him start walking towards them, Valley Vajiria gets fucking irate. And she's like, what? His whole job is to sow discord. Why is he attacking us? He should be attacking everyone that he sees. And I was like, okay. Because, okay, here's the thing. You don't want to give away, regardless of how angry your players are at you, you don't want to give away the next step. So sometimes you just got to take it so that you can come in at the next step and be like, so Valley Vajiria is like, no, he should just be attacking everyone, his own people, whoever's closest. Now my plan with this is that this Nilbog knew at the time. They had the Verdin was using disguise self and was pretending to be the person that these goblins are looking for. So this Nilbog is just trying to get as close as possible to the Verdin. And the Verdin also is coming towards this Nilbog because I know as the DM that their strategy is to trick the Nilbog first. That's what they want to do. They're like, if we get this Nilbog on our side, everything will be fantastic. And all this Nilbog wants to do is get in range. And his whole goal was just to set off. So I need to rewind a little. The person that they're looking for is technically one of my BBEG's adopted sons. And she treats him like shit, but she has given him a massive power upgrades over time. So he can transform into like a sort of manticore human hybrid form kind of deal. And at this point in time, my party has grabbed him and are taking care of him because something went wrong with whatever the last experiment was, and now the thing that is supposed to protect him is slowly taking over his mind. My players still don't know what's inside of him. They're just like, yo, we're going to keep him safe. We're going to make sure that he's good because this thing is taking over his body and he's a problem. Whatever is taking over his body hates goblins. So this Nilbog, to sow its discord, it's not zooming in, but I'm literally like walking across the table. He's just trying to get close. He's just trying to get close. Because the ideal Discord scenario, not being on Discord, but sowing Discord scenario in this case, is to get within range of Sogmir and trigger him so that he goes crazy and starts murdering everything around him. So I'm just trying to get him close enough in range that the Verdant can be like, because limited telepathy is only 30 feet, so can contact him and he can be like, do the thing, do the thing. And then I was going to have, you know, the spirit, the force inside of him be like, do the thing. And my whole idea is just to get them, the best way to sow discord here is to have this Nilbog make Sogmir transform. But the players don't know that because they're looking at the game from a different perspective than I am. They're just like, why is this dude who's supposed to do crazy shit for no reason attacking us? And I'm like, he has not actually attacked you. Up until that point, as he's getting closer, he's just like looking for people who are hostages or what have you, and he's trying to get them to go crazy so that people start looking at them. Like, he's here to sow discord. I am sowing the most discord that I possibly can. It doesn't matter how much you scream at me that my logic isn't right. This is the ideal logic for this guy. It's to make sure that there is chaos everywhere. He hates order. That is his shtick. He hates it. Yes. And also, like, if he dies, he don't care. Because if this Nilbog dies, there's goblinoids all over. He's just going to take over somebody else's body. Like, zero regard for his own life. And most Nilbogs, like, canonically, also just think they're better than everyone else because it's so hard to hurt them. And that's not right. But I mean that is a logical conclusion for them to draw. They were suddenly gifted power, and now like everyone is literally falling over themselves, trying to hurt them and can't. They just can't do it. So Valley Vajir is yelling at me like, "You're not running this combat right. You're not ready. That's not what this character would do." And I'm like, okay, sure. And you just got to take it sometimes, because other times you get angry about it and then you ruin the surprise for the rest of the group. Like, I have my adapt tabletop downstairs set up because we were staying on one map. If we're going to stay on one map and I can just lay that out, then I can set up the lights. It has LED lights. I can control them and what have you. And during our fight with Cryonax, before he got to phase 2 and became an avatar, I had been changing the lights based on like who they were fighting, what phase of the boss battle they're in. And my plan was to change it to like a cyan white when the avatar took over, because they were in boss battle mode before that, which is generally speaking red. Like once they get into combat, I'm like, it's turning red. And so I had it in red mode for the first stage of this battle. Hey. And I didn't realize that you could hit the button on like the actual power cord to change the color of the battle map. And so before we got to the final stage, I looked down and I'm like, did I set it too early? And Grimbo looks up at me and he sits like, if I'm facing this way, he's on my left, one seat. And so he looks up at me and he goes, nah, I didn't like the red anymore, so I changed it myself. And I was like, what? Who told you to do that? And I got so mad in the moment. I was like, man, you just spoiled the fun for me changing the lights when he gets to phase 2. And the rest of the table goes, what? What? Huh? And And I was like, damn it! So, like, sometimes you just gotta hold in when your players are really pissing you off so you can really drop the hammer on them later. Just like, bam. You don't want to let them in too early. You just don't want to. Oh, also, speaking of the avatar of Cryanax, we've been talking a lot behind the scenes, me and the rest of the DMs, about building characters and stuff and creatures. I think the easiest thing to do for starting with making Skylanders into creatures is I used a Skylander. I used... here, wait. I will bring it up. I used the... I gotta switch this over one sec. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. Hold on. I hope Dark Spyro doesn't mind me sharing their stuff. I know it's a black screen for now. Give me one sec. Boop. Here we go. I used... Oh, yep. Give me that. So Cryanax is like a Yeti with tentacle fingers. We don't need to deal with that. But that's what he is. So when he transformed, I used the Slam Bam Mini, the Series 1 Slam Bam Mini. And I was like, yo, this is the easiest way to start making characters. Like just working on stuff. What the hell is Disney's The Black Hole? What is it? I don't even know what that is. Yeah, the Nilbox is over there like, ha ha! I'm doing whatever the fuck I want. And they're still like, rah, 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 rah. I'm like, no, that's what he does. That's his whole shtick. I don't know why you guys are so mad about this. Like, believe me, you might think, and I'll be the first to admit, when it comes to keeping track of numbers, I'm terrible at it. Surprising no one. I'm just bad at math in general. But like, ooh, when I have to do a lot of math, it takes a while. And that's usually when my players talk to me in the hopes that I mess up, which is mean. It's very mean. But like, when it comes to thoughts and ideas, believe me, I'm way ahead of the rest of you, okay? And again, I'm also looking at the world from a macro perspective. It's the same as, I was explaining this to Dex. Valley of Egeria, when she was building the backstory for her character, she was like, my pirates have the biggest boat on the seas. And I'm like, I don't think you understand how pirates work. And then when we finally got to the point where we're going to introduce those boats, I see that she's taken like the destroyer class boat that like the Neverwinter Navy and Waterdeep Navy used pre-Spell Plague, and she's like, that's my pirate boat. And I'm like, okay. First of all, in-world perspective, pirate ships are supposed to be able to get in and out. Like, that's their shtick. If you have a boat that's like one step lower than a Frost Giant ship in sheer size, it's going to be slow, relatively speaking. And it's so big that everyone will know you're coming. And she's like, but I got it out of an official source. So the source that it came from was Ghosts of Saltmarsh, which technically, yes, does take place on the Sword Coast, but it's also like an alternate universe. So, no. And then we got in this big argument where she was like, well, then I'm changing my entire backstory. And I was like, whoa. We can still make this work. But you also need to understand that where we are timeline-wise, we're playing in 1492. Post-Spell Plague, when the Spell Plague happened, the vast majority of those big ships either sunk or like everyone on the ship got deleted and they just like floated out to sea. So if someone sees you have that ship, they're coming to take it back. It doesn't matter like what faction. You've made yourself such a huge target. So you can keep that at home in your hidden base, your little pirate cove. That makes sense. Because you wouldn't want to bring that boat out anyway. It's too conspicuous. And then I was like, but also, your boat is so big, I can't put it on the table and have you have a ship-to-ship conquest. Like, you can't... There's not enough room at the table for me to put multiple ships out that, like, you can do battle with. And she goes, oh, of course you're looking at this from a gameplay perspective. And I'm like, I, huh? Shouldn't we all be looking at this from a gameplay perspective? Do you know what I mean? Here, I'll show you what is it? It's not called a destroyer, but ship, Ghost Salt Marsh, not Ghost Ship. That was a pretty okay movie though. Not Sailing Ship. That's what I want. Here we go. There we go. We want. Look at this. Look at this. Gargantuan vehicle. 100 by 20 feet. It's huge. There's no way. There's no way. So we did establish that her pirate crew found one of these on the open seas and took it over. Also, for those of you who don't own any of the books and what have you, like the official books, you can come on 5e.tools like anytime you want and look up pretty much anything stat block. 5e tools has like everything here. You can't import it directly into D&D Beyond or anything, but like everything is here. So if you happen to be on D&D Beyond or Roll20 and you're trying to get information on stuff in a book that you haven't bought on that platform, it won't let you. It'll just block you out. But you could instead come over to 5e.tools and take a peek, which is what I do a lot of the time. Because especially for books that I own the physical copies of now, which also huge shout out to Clubs, because when I started my campaign, he was like, y'all, I need to downsize. I'm going to give away almost all my books. And he literally just brought like a humongous box to work and was like, take whatever you want. And I was like, are you serious? You're just gonna give them to us? Are you for real? And he goes, yeah, man, like I don't have room anymore, so they're all yours. So I have most of the official books downstairs. Have I read through all of them yet? Haha, no. But I have all of them, and pretty much all of them, and most of them came from Clubs, which is super cool. Like he didn't have to do that. I've bought like 3 or 4 of them, but the vast majority of the 5e books came from Clubs because he's just a cool dude. I'm hoping he shows up so I can talk about a thing that he did that sticks with me as a DM. I will also say that one of the big things that is cool, that it's not necessarily a you looking at the world differently, it's just every person who's sitting at your table, whether physically or digitally, obviously has a different perspective of what the game is. But one of the coolest things that happens at a table, well, you hope this happens at a table, sometimes people never bring it up, is that each and every person sitting at the table has a different favorite moment of the campaign. And I love that. That is one of my favorite things. Like the Laundry King is like, yo, when you had me fight that guy and I 1v1 him and I won. That was so cool. Do you remember that? And I'm like, yeah. I remember you 1v1ing someone, but I don't, like, to me it was just Saturday. But to you, coolest moment of the campaign. And that's fantastic. Okay, hear me out. If I were in the Laundry King's shoes, well, now he's done this twice we've come to realize that during their first arc ending battle, that's what I talked about last time. They were getting absolutely destroyed by the makeshift mauler. I thought I was going to TPK them, and then he came back with a crit, and I let him break one of the thing's legs off, and like that was the comeback. Woo! And then during their Avatar of Cryonax fight, they were on the ropes. They were real on the ropes, and he crit again. And that time he did 94 damage in one turn. 94 damage. Just wailed on this thing, and it really turned the tide of battle. To me, his coolest moments in the campaign are him doing those two things. And honorable mention would be the time that he said, so we had talked about this regarding backstory and stuff before, where like say something, make a fun fact as if it's Enclave, where you're just thinking up something new and like that's canon now. So completely unprompted, the characters were sharing their were sharing their character backstories, and the Laundry King just, I'm not kidding, Fist, you can appreciate this. I'm not kidding you. He had never consumed a piece of Critical Role content in his goddamn life, but unprompted, he verbatim, word for word, said that his backstory was Grog Strongjaw's backstory. And me and Valley Vajiri are just staring at each other like, what the fuck is happening? He's never watched, never read, never looked at Critical Role. How did he just give himself Grog Strongjaw's backstory? Like, word for word. And now, out in the world, his uncle is getting ready to rise to the top of the ordning alongside Frost Giants. Like, he's ready for war. Burr, burr, burr. Just playing the horns, man. Ooh. I love that there's a multiverse. And there totally is, even within. I was explaining this joke to Iron Fist, but actually I'll just bring it up. It's easy peasy. So if any of you want to have one of us run a game for you, what have you, if it's digital, it's probably going to be run on Roll20. My Roll20 game is called Toral 1610 as like a joke on the Ultimate Universe and how normally we play in Toral 616. So if you have access to the Dungeons and Dragons portion of Okami Kakure, the World Notes chat is called Toral 616 Almanac, but my Roll20 is Toral 1610 as a joke, and I love that I can make that joke, and it's true because I'm just gonna launch it real quick. Because it should still be set to the old game, which is good. I don't know why DM Bacon is always logged in. It's kind of freaking me out now. But these were their original tokens. So you have Chandra, that's DM Bacon's character, Goblin Slayer, Jack DT's character, Nareda, Valley of Ajiria's character, and Grimalkin. His. I don't have to tell you who Grimalkin is. You all already know. I was like, these are your characters, but they're also not your characters. We're somewhere else right now, okay? I'm just letting you know. I just saw your chat. I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna send it to them. I'll send it to the DMs. Ewa says hi, by the way. Yay. Club says he's coming. He's not sure yet when, but he's coming. I am saving a story on this topic about you for you to show up. Sorry, I couldn't see the primary audience chat's notification because it's up underneath where OBS is. My bad. I missed a lot. I sorry. But yeah, like these are their characters, but also not their characters. Because even within like actual canon, like dragons especially, one of their abilities is called Dragon Sight, and it lets them see alternate worlds where they also exist. So in my world, the thing that we talked about where my players were like, why doesn't everyone use this item? There's an orb of Dragon Sight in my version of Eorhythmble, and if you choose to take the hit, it will show you what your greatest desire is because it can like flip through things in the multiverse. Some things come to pass, some things don't. Maybe they're not even for you, but it is actually just a giant dragon's eye, a blue dragon's eye. So the price that you have to pay is getting struck by lightning. And my players are like, why doesn't everyone use this? And again, we have to come down to, yo, a commoner has 1d4 health, okay? Just like by default. There's no way they're surviving a lightning bolt, okay? Like, it's certain death for them to attempt this. So, no, regular people do not try this. They're not crazy. They're not crazy like you adventurers. They're just not. They ain't built like you. Is what it comes down to. Oh man, they have so many visions. I've given my players way too many visions, which is silly. But also, that also is part of my, like, you're looking at the world from a macro view and they're looking at it from like a micro view. It's just like their own perspective. Getting to show them things that may or may not happen in this world or another is so confusing to each of them. And I love that. They have no idea. Ooh. You know who never watches these streams but is a player in my games? Creepshow Kate. And she's the Verdant, the one who has the mutations. Eventually, we're going to show off the mutation tables. I guarantee it, eventually. But there's 400 possible mutations that she can get. I didn't come up with all these. There was on Reddit, there was a Verdant mutation chart that I just filled in the blanks on and rearranged a couple things. And then she found a game that's kind of set in a setting like Fallout. They had mutation charts, good, neutral, bad. And she said, Creepshow Kate said, can I use these? And I said, okay. So there's 400 possible mutations for her. That means, like, you could play so many different Verdant, and all of them in my world are going to have totally different mutations from one another. Because there's so many options. And so when she happened to see a vision of what her character's future might hold, she was the only one that there was no body for her in her vision. Like, she could see as if she was sort of like a scrying orb, like she could see all around, but it wasn't like her body. And all of my players took that to mean that her character's going to die. And I was like, all right, if you guys want to think that, that's fine. But realistically, it's just, there's no way for like infinite possibilities to choose what you're going to look like in the future. I was like, there's no way in your vision you can nail down what random mutations you're going to get at certain points out of 400. Like, the possibilities are endless. So in her vision, she never sees herself because she'll be totally different at each point in like her character's history. But all my players were like, "Oh, she's dead. She's just a spirit going around." And I was like, "Sure, you guys can make that assumption. I will not correct you. I will, if you guys want to think that, you guys can think that. That's fine." I will also say that this very specific setup on screen right now, if you want to do a digital 0.5 session with me, this is most likely your scenario. You probably can't tell, but there's shadows here, so like your characters can't see what's happening here until you get past the first gate and what have you. But like this is my default 0.5 training wheels session scenario. This is what I like to do. I'm not saying that there won't be others. I use a different one if I'm doing it in person. But like there's this. And as the inner circle, we've decided we're going to make a spreadsheet. And every time one of us runs a game, we're going to give like a... we're going to write down the theme or the map or the encounter that we ran so that we can have like this huge list by the end, hopefully, of all the different things we've done. And then this way it makes it easier if you're going to run a session for someone. You can be like, oh, if they give you ideas, you can be like, oh, does this one sound good to you? How about this one? And that way we don't have to do as much prep each and every time. I'm happy if that's the case. I'm happy if we do enough that that's the case. I'm going to switch back over. Basically, okay, it just clicked in my head what you meant by Darwin. Yes. Yes, 100%. 100% yes. Hello!
I can only be called out by so much.
Oh my god, I thought it was going to be Clubs. What up?
What's going on, everybody? I apologize for my, I suppose, tardiness?
It's all great.
Don't we all sleep under... I feel like we all sleep under the round table secretly, but...
I feel like, listen.
It's warm under there. It's like a kotatsu.
Oh my god,
in the winter
yes.
time, in the wintertime, it transmogrifies into a kotatsu.
Oh my god, I love this. This is the new lore.
This is the lore.
Okay, I'm putting in the designs list. Hold on, it's going in.
The round table around the kotatsu with the hot pot.
Yep.
Oh,
with the hot pot! Ah! Yes!
This is why.
Round table around the kotatsu.
This is why I show up late. I show up late.
So
open the chat. I know I'm gonna open the chat to Awaz being like, "You were late."
No, where's my class?
I know my class. Much like Lebowski, I'm just gonna stir some milk. Huh?
Oh, perfect. So, tonight's topic is that you as the DM and your players are looking at the world from different perspectives. And that's just something you gotta learn. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's not funny. But like, yeah. I feel like all of us have at least some stories. And I've been bitching about it for an hour and a half. So you're up.
I mean, the one big thing that I think I've run into mostly with people on their first time playing is they come into the game either prepared or in what I like to call these two categories that I have to deal with specifically, not because of who they are, like it's not their fault, but because I know myself and I know I could get snarky. And I don't want snarkiness to ever come off to a first-time player because I know they're just kind of playing. So my job as the DM, like, either game or just giving up, which is not what I want them to do, but sometimes it has to happen. And those are players who either take the game way too seriously off from session 0. Like, this is the person who is telling me that they have sat down. They have read the DG front to back. They have, they have gone through countless hours of D&D and they 6 seasons of Critical Role. I don't even think there's that many seasons. You know what I mean. They've watched Critical Role, Dimension 20, just Covert Go Blue, just everybody playing D&D. If they play D&D, they watch them. And they're like, I'm ready to play this character, and they hand me a sheet. We are not on the same playing field at the moment when you do that, to me as a GM. And it's not because I don't appreciate your preparedness. It's because this is session 0. This means what the world you're dealing with, maybe the mission. I'm going to tell you what the game is. I may have alluded to it before, setting up session 0 being by telling you the system and stuff like that. Let's just use 5e for this example. But don't, and you have an idea of what you want to be, which is really fine as well. But let me tell you the world a little bit, because maybe your laser sword pirate who saved the astral sea from the fall of man really doesn't know what to do when they're stuck in a castle full of a goblin virus that literally turns people's hands into snarling little goblins and they run off. And you have to destroy them to get your limbs back. Because astral pirates won't help you there.
The fact that you specifically said one of my examples was Valley of Aderia being like, I have the biggest boat that they have. My pirates have a warship. The fact that you just chose pirates, like of all the things you could have chosen, perfect.
Oh, that was entirely. I completely forgot. I actually didn't even know that she dealt with pirates. I remember the naval theme, but I did not know the pirates. Okay, that makes a lot more sense now.
Those people who want to get in and out the easiest, don't want to be seen. Sure, they have the biggest boat in the. I was going to say 7 seas. I don't know how many seas there are in Faerun, or rather, Toril. That's a good question.
There's as many. I feel like the true the true DM answer or GM answer to that is as many seas as.
Yeah.
You got cut off.
Oh, I was gonna say as many seas as your world needs.
It's true.
That's how many seas there are in oral. If you need 7 seas, you.
Right?
You got him.
Hi.
Hey, what's up?
Not much. We're talking about how, as a GM or a referee or a DM, like you have a different view of the world than the rest of your players do, and that can be like in game, out of game. You're just looking at it from different perspectives. And
yeah, completely.
The story I've been waiting to tell you because it stuck with me for years and years and years and years and years is when we were in your campaign and you made like little, I guess technically they're all puzzles if you depending on how you look at it, just like everything's a dungeon. You made all these little like tricks and stuff that we had to do, but they were all like specifically tailored for each one of us individually. And I think about that all the time, where I didn't realize until after I'd done mine that like, oh, each of us were good at this one thing. There was a puzzle for each and every one of us. That's so cool because I could never do that in my campaign. My players never do the thing that I think they're going to do.
Why not? There's
many reasons. But like, I think of that all the time, how like I didn't even realize it was happening. We just would have a discussion and be like, oh, well, you're good at this, so you should do this. And I was like, oh man, we work together. That's crazy.
Well,
It's kind of funny you say that.
Go off, club.
No, I was just gonna say, players are like seasons, okay? They change, they go through cycles. All right. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
That's an interesting take, club. I'd love to hear more.
Well, you just said like I'm just like having a reaction to the like that your players know what they're good at because that's sort of like what my current table struggle I think is.
That's fair. That's fair.
No, it's 1,000% what it is because none of us think we're good at anything.
Aww.
No, it's not. Here's why, okay? And I can explain it as a hi, player from the table, folks.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it is that we're unsure of what role to play, so we don't think of what skills we necessarily have. Like, I think sometimes we wholeheartedly say,
You're cutting out like something awful for me. I can't really
oh no,
understand.
am I better? Am I better now?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Much
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I think that one of the big problems is that we don't have a lot of confidence in our skill set, or the fact that we might just be able to do it based on the things that we can already do. I don't think we always think outside the box. I sometimes do think that some of our outside the box thinking is only used for the worst possible plans.
Yeah.
Like, worst possible plans.
Yeah, well, I have a theory about this, and that's sort of the stuff I was going to talk about.
Yes.
But I don't want to
go.
just interject my shit into the middle of
No.
other people's
No, do it.
stuff.
No, go.
Do it.
Because
What do you
this is
mean?
the
It's
perfect time.
not my turn.
Are you?
No, it
But it's
is.
not interjection.
Okay, so
This is an open forum.
Open forum.
okay, I guess I don't really have any player complaints. I just have complaints about myself or how I handle things at the table. So let's see. Basically, the things that or the big thing we're having, the big issue is decision paralysis. I think that's the issue. So ultimately, I don't think we have a really bad issue. What we have is like a pacing issue. We need to get through more rooms, more things, more events per game time. And we're doing a lot, I think, in sorry, I'm just like fucking choking.
I choked on my spit.
We're doing a lot,
Episode.
I
Don't
think.
worry about
it. Thanks. Well, we're doing a lot, I think, to rectify it. And so I think that's sort of what I want to talk about is like the things that I sort of noticed about player decision paralysis at my table and kind of like the big major, maybe the reasons why, and which are mostly things that I do. And I guess how I'm going to fix them, or I'm going to try to fix them. So
tell us more.
One of the things about decision paralysis with players and like getting stuck at like taking 10 minutes to talk through things, I think with my team specifically, is that there comes a time in a game like I play. So I play a game, just for a little bit of backstory, where there are a limited amount of like certain skills, but there's ability checks just like you have, right? Like you roll like a strength check or whatever. But those tend to only come in when there is a consequence for failure, like you need to do it quickly, or you need to do it without fucking up, without making a loud noise, or like you need to do it because this is your one shot, something like that, right? You make a roll. If you have all the time in the world, like we sort of don't make the roll. If there's no danger, then you don't need to make it. You know what I mean? You just do the thing. But also, if you were, say, going to look under the bed for treasure, you say, I bend down, I look under the bed, I put the torch down, I look, do I see anything under there? You see a shoebox. I'm not going to make you fucking roll to see if you see the shoebox. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
narrative interaction trumps rolling. So if you say you do a thing, if you interact with the world, you fucking do that thing, right? When it comes to combat or it comes to something being up in the air, do you throw a dart at a person and hit them? You know, we go to combat, right? But when you're just exploration, we go through narrative interaction kind of first. So, I think there becomes an indecision or a decision paralysis because you can fucking do anything, and you know, you can try whatever, and you can go through this narrative interaction, or you can default to a skill. You know, we do have a limited number of skills, but either way, I think my team tries to mentally solve encounters before encountering them. That's their issue. That's the big issue, is that they think there is a mental solution that will make the boogeyman go away. And they waste, unfortunately, I have to say this, they waste their time on figuring out not how to not deal with the solution. And it's just rarely something that comes to fruition. They should be mitigating what happens if they have to deal with it. Like, fuck, should we get out of here? Fuck, should we take cover? Fuck, like, you know, something like that. It shouldn't be like,
it's
do I know this
Scooby-Doo villain
language and
trap.
what I can say to fucking, you know what I mean? Like, not to say that that sounds like a targeted one, but it's not.
No, but I do feel like it's sometimes like the Scooby-Doo, like Fred sets up this elaborate trap to capture the ghost, and then it only
Yeah.
works because Scoob and Shaggy like bumble it all the fuck up and stumble into a barrel that rolls into the guy's legs. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, and I think that there comes a point where when it does happen, I I it's the thing that I will say is bad on me as a player that I do. And I think it's that I get quiet to let everyone speak and then feel like I have to wait a turn instead of maybe blurting out something that could just like end the conversation where it is
Yeah.
like what if we just went forward? And I think it's because I feel sometimes that like in those moments I don't want to overstep another player and come off as rude. I think sometimes I treat D&D as a raise your hand kind of thing. And that's only because I've had it as a DM at tables where you have six voices talking at you. You're trying to pay attention to six voices, and it's like, okay. I cannot hear how you want to cast Fireball, but you have something to do with a unicorn, and he's turning into some kind of bog monster. Like, I can't track all that. Sometimes I have to say, like, wait, one by one, tell me what's happening. And I sometimes think that situations that you're describing, clubs, I'm kind of waiting for my turn to be like, ooh, what if we try this? And I don't think that always approaches it, or I shouldn't say approach, shows itself in the conversation because I think somebody will then say something in the next two sentences and the rest of us are like, wait, what the hell? And I lose my point sometimes. And I'm like, wait, what?
Well, I don't think that that's an issue, honestly. Like, I think, you know, being respectful of people is great. Like, giving everyone the conch shell and letting them talk is great. But, fucking, I think we sort of mistake work, like watching someone's brain gears turn and them speak out loud about how we can maybe do this thing that'll maybe get us out of this situation. It's a long shot and it will require luck and something we don't have, and this, and it's just like, I'm not a player, but if I was, I'd be like, you have to shut the fuck up. There's something coming down the hallway. Like, what the fuck are you talking about right now? And it
That goes
devolves
back to
into
that
not just
respect
one
thing.
person, but then multiple people are like, what are, and I just have to, then I have to be like, guys, it's here. You didn't plan anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that makes me feel like the bad guy, because
It's not your fault.
you know, that stinks, but I got to do it. But so that's the one thing I want to say that my players do. The other two things I'm going to say I do. All right. One is something that I think I've known that I needed to get better at, because ultimately it is what we do. It is like what GMs, referees, DMs, whatever you call yourself. It is like literally the hidden secret work of being a GM is describing things well in a gameable way, in a like quote unquote like immersive way, like you really feel like Spider-Man way, but also in a gameable way.
Yeah.
So that your players know how to play the game based on just the words you're saying. And this is the great secret shadow work of being fucking a GM. It'll never end. You never stop having to improve this.
Yes.
You
I agree.
will have to get it better and better and better and better and better. So I've been aware of that. And better and better and better and better and better, for the most part, at one stage of it means shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter and more concise and more punchy. And you need to have word economy. You need to use like, and this isn't even what I'm trying to get better at. This is just something I've known before, but word economy, meaning that you need to put punch into your words. Like you need to have words that have feeling so that you can use less of them and still get a point across. It's cool to say, you know, you've seen this movie. It's like that, but also work on your descriptions and work on just never fucking say it's an empty room. And when you are giving descriptions, make them gameable things. So make them something that they have to wonder about, right? You step into this room, it's a square room, there's broken furniture, there's a chill breeze coming from, you know, one part. The fucking torch starts flickering weirdly in here. Ooh, there's a strange smell. And then this weird thing, and then you give them something risky, right? You hear chains clinking, an echo in the darkness. Like that's literally something might be moving over there. That's a risk. And that's not the best descriptions, but I'm saying that those 3 sentences are like, now you know where you are. Like that's it. Now, what the fuck do you do? That's it. Now we're playing the game. 3 sentences. And that's what I'm trying to get it down to. 3 sentences, because I want to give the floor to the players. So whenever something happens, I try to say 3 sentences. The third thing, and short sentences. These are not run on fucking many comma descriptive sentences. Anyway. The third thing is something I saw in a video. I don't know the channel. I didn't even watch the whole video. I clicked on the video, like I scrolled past it and I was like, nah. And then I went back because it was like a thorn in my brain. And I went and I watched the first 5 minutes and I realized that this person isn't even playing the style of games that I play. Like it's like a 5e DM and stuff. But what they said like rearranged the noodles of my brain. And they're right. They're right. So I'm so guilty of this one thing, and it's player re-narration. It's the idea that when a player says, I attack the goblin with my sword, GMs think it's good to say, you raise your sword back and strike at the goblin, steel bites in deep, and the goblin squeals in pain. But really, when the player says, I attack the goblin with my sword or whatever, you say, the steel bites deep and the goblin squeals in pain. Don't re-narrate what the player just told you.
Interesting.
And these are the three things. The player re-narration, I have to stop. I have to stop saying, like, you do exactly what you said you just said you did. I don't need to re-say it. 2, clear, concise, gameable descriptions. 3 sentences. That's probably from a video too. I don't know which one. And then working on giving players more resources so that they believe in themselves and stop doing the like, or not just believe in themselves, but know that like the game is risk. Like you're playing the danger game here. So there's going to be danger. The plans are about how to mitigate the danger, not solve all the danger. Like it's not going to be possible every single time. Although it is cool when you come up with it. Like fucking Aaron came up with a great save using his ability to speak any language. He gave his character the ability to speak rat, and he spoke to 16 rats swarming them, and they became fucking bros. He rolled a 13 on his fucking reaction roll, which is like amazing. And on a 2d6 rolled a 13. And so sometimes that shit happens, but
I think that was a situation where actually I can tell you exactly what I thought in that situation. I had zero trust that our party wouldn't let it turn into combat versus 16 rats to save 2 kobolds.
dude, we had an issue. We had an issue at one point. I thought we were gonna go down the fucking hole again. I literally thought last session was gonna go to like I was gonna fucking have to like just fucking jump out my window, because at one point Christian started literally trying to lead you guys down the wrong road on purpose. At one point, six fucking party members, right? Because I think it was like 5 party members and a retainer. So 6 party members, 2 of them down a pit trap. One of them trying to open the pit trap, another one shooting bow and arrow at stuff, 2 of them fighting 6 kobolds. 1 kobold gets its head cut off. Another kobold gets its head cut off. The kobolds fucking surrender. They're like, we're good. We're done with this. Like, please get the fuck out of here. They're kneeling, prostrating themselves. They're throwing their fucking change purses that no one picked up in front of them.
I know. I know no one picked them up. I can't tame the rats and get the loot. Okay.
I know. Okay. So they fucking surrender.
Sorry.
And a tidal wave of 18 dog-sized rats are coming down the hallway. They appear, and no one knows what to do. Everyone's like, what do we do? What do we do? So Christian is like, I guess we keep fighting the kobolds. The surrendered kobolds that have their foreheads to the fucking floor. How about we fight them? And there was literally like people who were like, yeah, I guess maybe we should just fight the kobolds. I was like, no. Please. I think this is a test, guys. You cannot fight the kobolds right now. 18 rats are coming. You have to get ready.
But this is exactly why when I came in, because I came in at this exact moment. This is where I came into the game. To hear that they were about to fight kobolds and rats.
Yeah, they got the kobolds to surrender and dip. Like, we're done with combat. We don't want to fight you guys anymore. You're big, and you just beheaded 2 of my friends. Actually, they wasn't beheaded. The fighters shoved a torch into their faces and burned them to death.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's one way to go, I guess.
Anyway.
Yes, no, that is exactly when I came in to decide that, hey, I can talk to anything.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to everything if it means that I can stop certain players from doing that thing they do. Quite often.
Yeah, I say
Quite
you
often.
use that shit forever. Keep using that shit.
I wish I had more uses of it a day.
Yeah, I know you'll only ever get one, right?
No, I think if I roll it again, I get another one.
Oh.
But I don't necessarily want to roll it again because then that means I'm missing out on something else I could have
You're
gotten.
right. You're right. You're right. Yeah, you're totally right. I think like Enchanter is kind of interesting because it's like you get a lot of shit to start. Oh no, you're an elf, so you just get extra shit for being an elf.
Yeah, I'm an elf on top of being an enchanter, so it's
Okay,
like
never mind.
you do shit and I do shit on top of doing shit.
Did you guys realize that elves are smaller than humans? I feel like that's not what I imagined.
I was just reading.
Oh,
I don't.
AWAS, my character could absolutely get a 1,000 worshippers.
That's like what he's trying to do.
Yeah, that's exactly what my character's
And
trying
by
to do.
worshippers, I think you mean sexual partners.
Well, yes. Well, no, also minions and or meat shields. Meat shields. Remember, mortals are like pennies. You throw them down wells, fountains, and caves.
Damn, that's
That's
deep.
what I think you guys are gonna do next session.
Oh, I'm
Anyway,
throwing them. I'm throwing the mortals down. Yes. No.
the mental solving is like the sticky wicket, I think.
Sticky wicket.
Oh, I have a bonus thing I want to do to help sharpen up the game. By the way, the indecision.
Ooh.
Use a caller.
Oh. Yo, going
Yeah, I want to use
through
a caller.
the retired adventurers, like the roles that he's got for people at the table. I'm like, oh, I wish that I could trust my table to take on those roles. Like anybody
Yeah, I
at the
mean,
table.
I really would like to do it. You know, though I feel like I don't explain it very well, but I explained it once very well, and I got people on board, and then I've never been able to do it again.
It
But
happens.
basically, I just think it'd be good if one player was like, "Okay, gang, what are we gonna do?" And everyone told that player, and that player was like, "Look, DM, this is what's happening," and that officialized everything. And that's just like the normal, like each round, each turn, whatever, that's what happens. But also a player could say something directly to me, of course, but the general like a majority of the time way it happens, it goes through the caller. That I would really think that that would make things go faster. And like only call the game master when you want the game clock to move. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so to speak, like if you don't have any sort of, or like maybe not just the game clock, but you know, if you sort of need to do something that is up in the air, then you need me. Otherwise, like you guys can sort of do it. And I feel like the caller can help do that. And I also think that the caller should fucking steamroll. Like the caller shouldn't be like, okay, show of hands, what are we doing here? Oh, we got a tie. All right, what do you think? Blah blah blah. It should be like, thief, check this hallway, and the thief should be like, you know what? No, I don't want to check the hallway. And they'll be like, okay, well, who wants to check the hallway? And then someone will be like, no one, and they'll be like, you check the hallway, and they'll be like, okay, you know, like it's not like a fucking dictatorship, but it's a leader.
Yeah.
And I think that that would work.
Same like sort of vein. I think I did this. I talked about this in one of the delving into your DMs, like the solo episodes. But like my table specifically, everyone at the table except for Valley of Ageria and Bacon think that I have to be part of every conversation that's happening. I'm like, I don't have to. You guys can have your, like, if I'm in the middle of something with somebody else in the party, like if I'm narrating what they're doing in this shop or what have you, and you're not in the shop, like I don't need to be part of the conversation you're having outside of the shop. Just talk amongst yourselves. Like I think a caller sort of helps fix that around the table in a way. Like they're like, what are you
And the
guys
caller,
doing? Let me know.
yeah, and the caller's like for when you're in turns play, you know, like when you're in combat rounds or you're in exploration turns or you're in a when you're not in like an amorphous section of the game. If you're like, you know, I'm gonna fucking let's everyone take your time. Let's take the hour to go shopping in town. You don't need a caller during that.
Mm-mm.
You need a caller for when you're like, guys, let's make town as quick as possible so we can go back.
Yes.
Well, I
Wait,
think
wait.
I
On this topic, DM Shin, do you make the spreadsheets for when your party goes into town? Because I was gonna be like, yo, you know what you need? You need someone to make a spreadsheet that does all the math for you, like DM Bacon does.
I don't. But to that point of the caller, I think the one thing about the caller that is very important, and it's kind of like a spoken additional role of the caller, is that you're kind of also not so much the caller, but like the shepherd too, where you have to kind of like bring your party back to mold so that you can get something to tell the DM to continue play. Because if you have like you know in our party, we have six voices. Six, right? Wait. Yeah, six. There's
Yeah.
six of us. So you know, the caller's job is to relay the info of six people, of six players, back to you. And even though you can hear what we're doing, you're trying to put it so much in our more in our hands to say, "Hey, you guys organize and come to me with a plan."
Mm.
Like I don't have anything more to give you than what I've given you contextually that you need to deal with what's going on. Whether that's you've entered town or you've entered a room full of, you know, it looks like an old bedroom scattered across. It seems like it's been torn apart with various clothes and boxes ripped apart and open all across the place. If that's all you give us and you say, "What do you guys do?" The caller's job is to say, "Okay, guys, we're in it. It looks like a ramsacked bedroom. What are we doing?" And maybe say like, "Hey, like in our characters, like, hey, we have a ranger. Can you maybe look for tracks or see if maybe you can look around? Like, do you think it's possible that you can see if how recently this place has been ransacked? Could our thieves take a look and see if anything might have been boosted or if this, you know, did someone break into this room?" Like, kind of dictating it in that way, kind of stuff like that. But like, you have to be comfortable, I think, with kind of I don't want to say it like this, but I kind of have to say it like this. Kind of telling the other players like, "Hey, let's all shut the hell up and get back to focus, like get back on
I
focus."
agree.
I think
I agree.
there's like I was trying to formulate a thought based on I don't think the person who's the caller should be like the face of the party in world. I think that the person who's the caller has to be the one who holds the most social currency at the table.
So I actually was going to say something kind of the opposite,
Oh.
that I think you want the like caller in the front face person because they're already going to be like talking to everyone. They could just as easily be the person talking to NPCs, but maybe you don't want to double up on that person. Like, and in that case, I think that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, you want to spread that role to someone else. Like, someone could be the face and someone could be the caller.
Because like in our game, the person who's the face of the party, like our bard, has the highest charisma and like wants to talk to everyone anyway, but she is the most shy person at the table as a human being. So like Creepshow Kate would never be the one to be like, "Hey guys, focus up. I need you to we got to talk about this."
Yeah, so I think the reason why it's different in our game is because in our game, the person at the front of the party is like, we use a marching order that I think I get pretty fucking anal about, because whenever an encounter is encountered, we need to know who the front rank is, like who is
Oh, okay.
seeing this stuff, who is having that conversation. And also there is a thing, like I roll a reaction. So when they're having some encounter, I roll a 2d6 roll, and it's on a table where like a 2 on the 2d6, snake eyes, is automatic combat. A 3 to 5 is hostile, possible combat. A 6 to whatever is like they're fucking wary, uncertain of the party, and so on, up into enthusiastic friendship, right? Which is like 12 or up. So I roll this reaction roll just to see like the mood of this encounter. But then also, after the party reacts with them, the face character or whoever says something, tries to interact, which they don't always do, but when they do, I re-roll the reaction with the character's charisma bonus who spoke. So then, that's how we got Caw befriending all these rats, is he's the one that spoke to them. I rolled a reaction. He has a +3. Aaron has a +3, his character. So a +3 charisma, which is fucking insane. It's like an 18 charisma.
With a natural +2 if they're mortal, which is fucking everybody. Don't forget, I get a bonus as well for being an elf, because I'm so beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
all those things are like
pretty too high.
Your shit doesn't even work because your shit's too high. It's like it brings you up. It brings you up +2 to an 18. You already have an 18.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's no 20s in this.
Yeah, 18 is humanly, or like, I guess, characterfully possible.
Like
right? Like beyond 18 is like giant strength and so on. Inhuman constitution.
But I don't violate that by being an elf. I don't have to ignore that because I'm an elf.
You still like breathe and eat and shit, right?
Well, yeah, but I guess I'm looking at it from the standpoint of like human limits of things, right? Like
I think the only thing you don't have a human limit on is like age.
I was curious.
Right? Like, because you're from some fucking other dimension or whatever.
Technically, yes, I am.
Gray Wastes?
And Dolmenwood, technically. Well, no, in Dolmenwood Fairy, where the elves come from. Yeah.
Which is really... Sorry, go on.
Oh, go ahead. No.
I was going to say, it's really funny when you compare to, like, Dolmenwood is like a big forest, a giant fucking forest in our world, like a massive continent-sized forest. And the players are for country-sized forest, and the players mostly are from there, but now they're outside of there in the known world. And elves from the known world are not from Fairy. They've like mostly aren't able to even go to Fairy. So it's like if they ever meet an elf from outside Dolmenwood, it's not going to be the same thing at all. It's going to be like, like someone who's like a 10th generation American, their immigrant ancestors came over versus someone who's like born in that place that the ancestors were born.
Like regular hobgoblins versus Feywild hobgoblins. How like Feywild hobgoblins are like, they're just born nice. You get the help action as a bonus action, and they can do it from far away.
What? Would they cheer for you?
Kinda.
Hey, you good? You good? Hey, just making sure.
I love having
I'm just
that.
imagining this.
That exactly, like when you were saying being able to describe things, one of the things I was talking about before is I was jumping off your point from I think 2 or 3 episodes ago when you had said something like sometimes your players like get this idea in their head and it's wrong, but they'll just keep doing it over and over and over again. And I'm like,
Yeah.
my players, when I describe to them that something has resistance, they immediately stop hitting it. They're like, "Oh, this thing's invincible." And I'm like, "I didn't say it didn't take damage. I just said you can feel that it's not like you can't pierce them as far as you would normally. Like your fire doesn't leave the same singes that it would normally on them. They're still hurt, but it didn't do as much." And they just stop attacking. It's happened multiple times. It almost led to their death many times. But like also
Good.
yeah, yeah, learn the
Yeah,
lesson, please.
yeah, I'm not against them dying. I think that as a player who has absolutely, I will say one character that I had was absolutely a character milled character. He absolutely got thrown to the mill and ground to dust. Surely for me to see if I could get through something. um, it was not my shining moment as a player, but uh, I did learn a valuable lesson, which was don't don't make a cleric go downstairs into a room full of goblins if he doesn't know how to heal.
Ooh, I can totally get behind that. And then like my jump off of your point too, learning to speak like gamified also so hard. So one of the tattoos in the Tome Mystical tattoos. Okay, we're gonna ignore the fact that apparently you can tattoo your weapon. We're not gonna get into the metaphysical ramifications of being able to put your ink underneath the metal of a blade. Whatever, we don't care. But you can tattoo your weapons, and one of the weapon tattoos in this game, in the Tome of Mystical Tattoos, when you hit people, you roll 2d10, and then you consult the chart, and now something that you've hit is now vulnerable to two different things based on whatever you rolled. And if you ever roll the same on both dice, then you got to re-roll one of them so you can get two new resistances. And out of game, that's cool. In game, it's going to be very difficult for you to synergize with your party unless you can do every single kind of damage, which most parties can't do. But in game terms, how will you, as a character in that world, like how does this person you just thwacked know that they're now vulnerable to these two damage types? And as the person attacking them, how do you know that they're now vulnerable to this kind of damage? Like you have to find a way to make that make sense in world. You could for sure tell your players out of world, but obviously the best option would be to describe it in gamified language. And that's going to be hard. Like why would the both of you know? Like just something just click in your brain like, "Ah, I'm weak to cold damage now."
Mm,
You got to I was
mm.
thinking like does the tattoo light up when you hit someone, or do you have to be like, "Oh, this guy like he has a chill." But then you'd have to go based on if you have really low passive perception, you wouldn't notice that he just like shook because he had a chill. And how would you be able to
Well, I
tell that it was versus cold versus being hot or anything like that?
It definitely comes from a narrative. I think you definitely have to give a lot of good narrative clues there, but I think it's also maybe describe the way it strikes, how it feels to the touch. I don't know, like
So, when I that's interesting. When I say like gameable descriptions, I sort of mean by like because the game is like asking the GM questions or like
Oh.
interacting with the GM, conversing with the GM. So, um, the in one of those examples, I was like, the torch starts to flicker. But let's say the second sentence, it's like you walk into this room, the torchlight flickers green, and it smells sour in here, like vinegar that's been digesting flesh for years and years. It's disgusting.
Mm.
So you those things that I mention are like things that the party might be like, where is this smell coming from? Do I see a source of this smell? It's like it becomes the game. It becomes stuff. So if you want this tattoo on the weapon to become something, become game, then you would do something like you would telegraph something and not give it away. You would show, don't tell it, so that it could be investigated and game could be made out of it. But I don't think that's the point of this. So I would actually recommend that you don't game your description and you say it lights up this color, alerting you to the cold and fire or whatever. You know, these two colors. Because I don't want combat to take any fucking longer than it has to take.
Okay.
It's gonna find a way.
Can totally understand. Yep. Nope. Yep. I'm with you. Yep.
But I'm all for turning, you know, like anything you can into a hook. Like my big advice used to be that like a lot of players like ask for things, like they want things, and I don't give them things. I tell them, most oftentimes within reason, I tell them it's in the world somewhere, like you have to go get it, like you have to go do it. And sometimes I even tell them like where or how, or like alert them to where, who would know, or something like that, because ultimately that's what I want the game to become. Someone might eventually be like, hey, we're done with this adventure, I wanted to do this thing, what do you guys think? And then that becomes the game. Or something someone can do on downtime, it could be becomes the game. Like everything should be a hook. If your player asks for something, you don't say yeah, you say here's a hook. You know, like if can my uncle have this thing? Maybe, and then he gives it to me. It's like, sure, like you have to go get it from your uncle. He lives here. Right now, it becomes fucking Journey. Now you're fucking playing The Hobbit, trying to get to the Lonely Mountain to see the desolation of your uncle's house.
Oh, that's crazy.
Tried Adventurer has one of his blog articles is like, yo, I've learned something today while watching other people run their games, where like the best interaction you can have with your players when you're sitting at a table is that only if everyone who's having a conversation only speaks in questions. That is the easiest way to keep the ball rolling. And at first I was like, ooh, I think I'm going to punch somebody in the face if they only answer me in questions. But then I was like, no. If you're playing the game and you're both into it, then your DM's like you said, like you walk into this room, you smell sulfur from somewhere, but you're not quite sure where. Then the players are going to be like, well, can I look over here? And be like, oh, do you want to look over there? And I'm like, okay, I can understand. It's not just going to be annoying. It could be helpful.
Well, the questions are good. Also, I like the short layer, like peeling back an onion style statements of like, you know, can I look in the, you know, do I see the whole room? No, there's a shadow in this corner here. Okay, well, if I move the torchlight and light up that corner, is there anything in the corner? There's a crate. Is there anything written on the crate? There's nothing written on the crate. Is the crate open? No, it's closed, but there's nails. It looks like it could be pried open. Okay. Should we pry it open? That's the game. That's the fucking game. Drilling down one layer at a time into the world like that is the game. Combat is not the game. Combat is what happens to try to prevent you from more of that other game.
And like my players are slowly learning as they've been in the Frostfell. You can even get out of combat into the regular game if you just stop for a second.
Yeah. Yeah, you basically want, like, I play a game that's like exploration heavy. Sorry, go on.
No, I was gonna say, but not to cut you off. I was gonna say, telling your players to remember that their spells work out of combat
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
shouldn't have to be a thing, but I feel like is definitely a thing that.
I don't know. When every spell is fucking hold person or something, you're like,
Right.
Okay, so we didn't have Grimjack for last session, so the rest of the party was like, okay, he's a prepared spellcaster. He's changed his spells once the entire campaign we've been playing for 5.5 years, and
oh my
they're like,
gosh.
we're changing his spells today, and we were controlling him. He still went down every turn. The boy, like his character's just cursed. It's just who he is. His character goes down every turn, and he finally stands up. And they're like, "What are we gonna make him do this turn?" And we talk as a group, like, "What would he do here?" And Valley of Ageria goes, "I don't know. I think we should consult the tomes." So one of his channel divinity abilities as a paladin is that he can basically look up his library's Wikipedia through his own mind. And there have been at least 12 occasions in the campaign where in the middle of combat he'll go, "I'm going to go read a book." And so it became a joke at the table where everyone's like, "I think we should waste a channel divinity slot this turn. I think we should go on Wikipedia," while we're getting absolutely smashed by an avatar of an Archomental. I think this is what we should do. And I was like, that's sad that that's the joke now. It is true, but it's sad that that's the joke now.
I think they have a good idea in doing that.
Players are funny. I like them.
It's nice to have them. I I I forgot what my jump off point for number 3 was, but something you said, Shin, at clubs is number 1 point. I think there's like a weird space we've gotten into as people who run games but then are playing in other games. We're like in DM Lacar's campaign, she will tell you for sure I do this all the time, where I have the most experience, most sessions in the group, and like I also obviously run my own games. So I don't want to take spotlight that could be from the rest of the party, but almost everyone else is like brand new to TTRPGs in that game. And so sometimes they just don't talk for a really long time. Like I'll let them try to figure it out, but
Yeah.
sometimes they're just totally silent and I'm waiting and waiting and then I have to jump in and be like, "Okay, we're going to do this thing." Even though like my character in that campaign hates people and hates talking. And so like
You
if there's
know,
no animals around, like you're making I'm the one who's got to walk up to someone and be like, So we like change my backstory a little, so I'm good at paperwork now and like busybody work, so that I can go talk to people. Because sometimes like the whole rest of the party just like all clams up, and I'll
Oh
wait and
no.
wait. I'm like, okay, I guess I
mm,
gotta take the reins here.
you know, as a GM, I'm a reformed. No, I'm not. I'm not. I talk a lot. I just never shut the fuck up. And in real life and in GMing. And um when I play, when I'm into it, I think what I like to do is I can't really fucking interact with the GM a lot. I find it hard. But I can interact with the other players and I can be like, I like, what do you think about this? And like kind of serve them like volleys to hit back to me. And like, oh, you're from this place. Like, what do they say about things like that there? Just try to get people into you know what I mean? I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to fucking role play personally, but I think other people are there too.
Mm-hmm.
And, uh, like because I know I am normally juggling a million plates, I can take on an extra plate when I only have one when I'm playing and
Mm.
try to like serve things up to the other players and try to get them like, what do you think? Meanwhile, I don't give a fuck what they think, right? Like, but I already know what I want to do. But you have to, it's the game. You got to do it.
That was the realest shit I think I've heard.
Yeah, I think I used to have this quote that I like stopped saying because people were like, "Oh, damn, he's a fucking asshole." With where I'd be like, "Rule of cool, like cool to who? Like I don't think any of that shit is cool. Like what the fuck are you talking about? That shit's not cool. None of that shit I've heard just now was cool. What?" So
yeah, I think that kind of comes to a point. Not to cut. That's going to come to a point that I wanted to bring up before we go for the night. My one other point of the night.
Wait, are you building
wasn't gonna cut
suspense
you
or
off.
did you get cut off?
No. Oh, I didn't want to cut off. I didn't want to cut off Clubs the rest of his statement though. I wanted to let him.
I think I was done. I don't know.
I was gonna say that right there is gonna bring us something, and it's something that we're all guilty of as DMs, GMs, refs at some point or another, and it's something that we all need to stop doing. Which is, if you think that cool thing or that really neat idea for the players to encounter, let the players fucking encounter it. Don't be like, oh man, you ain't gonna survive this. Don't over cool it. It's one thing to warn your players and say, I've got something devious set up for you. It's another thing to be like, man, this thing I made was so cool. You guys are gonna think it's the coolest because we think it's cool as DMs sometimes, but our players may not see how cool the encounter or the reference in that moment is.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
I think I see what you're saying.
This is all
I'm
like
guilty of it.
the opposite end of the spectrum from how like one of my first ideas was like I gave two examples how in my game sometimes my players start yelling at me and I get mad at them and then I spoil what's going to happen next for the rest of the group because they'll be yelling something at me that is wrong and then I have to explain and I'm like the more and more I play with my group I'm starting to not do that because I don't want to ruin the experience for the other people who are not angry for no reason or the wrong reasons anymore. I just want the game to go on.
Yeah. It kind of goes to the other side of it, which is the complaint, which is I had run a one shot. I want to say like while I was on vacation last week. I ran a one shot while I was on vacation last week, and quite literally, I had a guy in the one shot go on. He was like, "Hey, I have an idea, guys," and the whole party's like, "Cool. We give you the floor," and he went on like this 7-minute monologue of this cool idea he had that had absolutely nothing to do
Oh no.
with what the party was literally in a tower opening door. We're playing 5e. They were in a tower opening a door. The door was slightly trying to get the door open. They realized the door was already slightly ajar and light was coming from the room. And they backed up. They asked, could they back up quietly? I made them roll sneak. They all stepped back quietly. And quite literally, this guy then goes, I have a plan. And his whole plan was about how when he gets back to town with the money they get from whatever they're going to find here, which they have no idea what they're going to find. They have no idea what
Wait. So he took time to give a plan on how he was going to use the rewards that he assumed were in the. Oh boy.
Yeah.
This is why I like to have a GM PC.
Like,
so I can be there and be like, shut the fuck up.
No, in that moment, I needed the GM PC. I needed the GM PC.
I lost my GM PC, I just realized. For now.
So it's time for you to make another level 0 GM PC. They have to be level 0. It's not a Vincent James Maximilian Fazio III patented
That's a name to be put on a business card. I hope the wee one got the same level of epicness in the full name, bro. Please tell me.
He's the
Tell me
fourth.
the little guy. Oh,
He's the
snap.
fourth.
He is the fourth.
He had to be the fourth. You can't pass up on a fourth. Look, I was thinking Vincent the fourth is like
That's a sick
almost
name.
vampire lord
Yes!
status. Like
Yes!
I could not pass up on it.
Your son officially has lineage. Like
He has
oh,
no
who's that?
idea. He's just like
He's like, but like when he finds out, he's gonna be like, I'm Vincent the Fourth. They're gonna be like, whoa, 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 whoa.
He's gonna have tougher
Like,
drip
when
than
he
Speedy.
starts, like if he gets into sports and he gets like a jersey that says something like V4 on the back, that's gonna be one of the hardest things. Oh, that's gonna be on the field right there. I'm already. This is brand management. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, but like seriously, that's awesome. I kind of also hope that he gets into tabletop and finds his own group of us.
Yeah, he's been watching me play Elden Ring, which is so funny because I like turn the blood off, but it doesn't do anything. It's just like giant, like gutted giants crucified in a burnt town, and he's like, I'm like, man, we'll go somewhere else. I fought Radon with him there, and he's been asking for 3 days. He's like, why'd that one boss go like to the bodies? And it's like Radon's like eating his soldiers, and he goes crazy, right, with the Scarlet Rot. And for 3 days, I've been like, yeah, I don't know, like he's crazy. He's that crazy Radon. But whatever. Anyway.
That's good stuff. Hey, we could do one of the one shots could be just us fighting Radon, since I definitely have the figures for it, and now we have the stat block of phase 1 and phase 2. Wait, but we have to have somebody. We have to have an actual mentor character, like the mentor class. They're the ones who have to get split in half. Oh no, that's the Falling Star Beast, not Radon. No, does Radon split you in half with the arrow? I don't remember.
No, he does other arrow things, I think. He like does a hail of arrows in like a line, and he shoots you with an arrow immediately when you get in there.
Fantastic.
I don't know what that is. Genocide isn't an animal.
I don't know what that is either.
I don't know why I'm picturing like the Guyver.
Ooh.
Am I off? Is it like the Guyver? It's got a G and a Y and an R.
It's like the Guyver now.
If you squint, it's like the Guyver. No, I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool.
It sounds like something that would be in Kamigawa Neon Dynasty.
I don't know why. It's making me think of Guyver, and now I'm thinking of Lawnmower Man. You guys ever watch Lawnmower Man?
What?
You guys have never seen the Lawnmower Man?
Oh, I've seen Lawnmower Man. That's classic.
Oh man, it's fucking wild. I can't believe that I have like such stark memories of it being in theaters and watching, like, not in theaters. I definitely did not, but like trailers for it or commercials and stuff, and then like hyping this movie up like you really want to go to the movies and see Lawnmower Man. And then I saw it later in life and I was like, what the fuck were they thinking? What's Cyberman? That's why I'm thinking of fucking Lawnmower Man, because Cybo Man.
God.
Hold on.
Oh my God.
Please tell me please tell me. What's his name? It's fucking Cybo Man. It's Cybo Man. Cybo Man is the character in the Lawnmower Man. Anyway.
Yes.
That sound okay.
Yeah.
What you just described is definitely something Fist will be watching very soon. Honestly, I might look it up
Oh my
too.
gosh.
Cyberman? You have to.
As long as they're not like the Cybermen from DBZ who just show up to explode.
Not Cybermen. It's like
Cyber.
Cyber, Cyber, but it's Cybo.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Cyboman is a monkey. He's a monkey. Look, Cyberman. It was the 90s or the 80s. I think it was the 90s.
It was a time.
Oh, there's also
92,
a
so it was, like,
musical
on the cusp.
artist
Who knows?
named Cyboman. Pierce Brosnan was
Cyboman
in
the
Lawnmower
monkey.
Man?
Yeah.
He was like a scientist or something, right?
You have to
Dude, I
understand,
don't
young
remember.
Pierce Brosnan was in every young. Did you ever see a movie called The Haunting?
That sounds
It sounds so
It's got
familiar.
young Liam Neeson. It's Liam Neeson, Owen Wilson, and Catherine Zeta-Jones in a
Oh yes.
in a ghost movie.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I didn't see it, but once you said Catherine Zeta-Jones, bam, I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I worked in a movie store, so I think I remember
Oh,
seeing
you
it.
had to see it.
Was it Coconuts?
No, it was a little independently owned video rental store that was like a Blockbuster, but I don't know, did Blockbuster have a porn room?
I don't
Yeah.
think so.
If it did, it would probably made a lot more money.
I don't know. He had a porn room.
True.
They probably wouldn't have gone bankrupt. I'm just saying.
Also, Andy Milonakis worked there, and then
What?
when he
Oh.
stopped working there to like do whatever he did, I started working there.
That's cool.
Shit.
Yeah, he didn't train me or anything. I was like 2 weeks later when I started working there. But it was fucking crazy because it was like in my town, and it was like, you know, obviously I don't live in a city because I just said the word town. And I know people in my town because it's the town I grew up and like live in and went to school in, and I know people's parents because I had friends while I was growing up. And anyway, their parents
I love how
rent
wholesome that is.
porn.
Like, I just want to confirm, I do know these people.
Yeah. Their parents would rent porn from me, and
Oh, that's awkward as hell.
the sentence doesn't just stop there because it's not like there was one DVD that was like, this is the porn DVD. There was like all these different flavors of porn. So then you had to see what like people in town's parents, what type of porn they preferred. It was so strange. It was the weirdest thing. I worked there for a summer and I was like, I got to get out of here.
That's a good reason to.
Yeah. I know too
Very
much. Could
strange.
you look any of your friends' parents in the eyes after that?
Yeah, I had to. The worst is like every single time without fail. It's not like these people were like, okay, it's not like it's not like they were like, look, it's just me. I have my own account. I'm gonna go here, rent my one porn DVD, and go. No, they're there to rent like 3 DVDs. It's like 2 normal DVDs and the porn DVD, and they go home, and they only here, family. I rented 2 DVDs at Plaza Video. And they keep the 3rd DVD for themselves, or maybe, I don't know, do they share it with their wives? Some of these flavors would be interesting if they shared it with their wives.
I just like the way your voice dropped. 2 DVDs and then went back up to normal.
Yeah. I got 2 DVDs and some microwave popcorn and some Twizzlers, nothing else.
Right.
I didn't get anything
Hey,
else.
Dad, don't read that out loud. You know your sister can't read.
Yeah. And then Yeah, it's not like they were coming in and getting their like 3 DVDs were all porn. Actually, there was probably a few people that did that. But anyway, then
was
the
Terry.
kids would come
We
in
always
and
knew it was coming.
I'd be like, "Yo, what up?" And they'd be like, "Hey, like I forgot my card. Can I rent something on the account?" I'd be like, "Your dad has 3 movies out."
Yo, that's crazy. Your dad has 3 movies out. Well, I can't right now. You guys are actually at capacity for rental this month.
Yeah. And he'd be like, "Oh, I remember The Haunting with Catherine Zeta-Jones, and I remember that other one. I don't remember there being a third DVD. Can you tell me what it is? I'll bring him back." Yeah, how about you get the fuck out of here?
Believe me, you don't want to know.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry for that weird rant about porn.
No, that was
and
perfect.
video
I loved
rentals.
it.
No, that
But I think we
But-
covered our topic today.
Yeah.
There will be more.
Everyone get better at your describing, and that's not pointed at anyone. That's just like
No, we
me
we
bringing
do.
up.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going on.
Legs wide open, next eyes wide shut. That was a good one, Fist. I understood that reference. But we already have our topic for next week. You guys in the audience won because most of us DMs forgot to vote in the poll. So you guys won. We're going to talk about races, species, whatever you want to call them now, lineages. Next
Kindred.
week. Kindred. That's a good one. I have some friends who like took a long break from Magic and now they use Kindred and Umbra. Umbra took over Totem, and Kindred took over Tribal. And one of them like picked up a card. He was like, "What the hell is a Kindred?" And I was like, "I used to be Tribal." And they're like, "Did they like leave the woods because it was elves?" And I was like, "No."
They like developed their town hall building, and they went to the next stage, and word changes.
Yeah. So next week we're going to be talking about races, but two. I wish I could. That was really bad. Yeah. Nope. I'm right. No. What is happening in 2 weeks? Topic. I know there's some of you on YouTube who are lurking. We appreciate you being here, and we're not going to bother you. But if you do want to say something now, it would be a good time because at the end of each of these streams, we do a vote for what we're going to do next. And there's 5 topics. If you're on YouTube, you can just pop right in the chat what you would like the topic to be. If you are on Twitch, I will in one moment, when I remember how to do it, there we go. I'm going to make you a poll that'll run for the next 10 minutes, but you don't actually have 10 minutes to vote in the poll. You have 24 hours from when this stream ends to actually vote in the poll. So you can leave us a message here. You can come into the Discord if you're not sure you want to watch some other stuff in the meantime. That's fine too. But I'll pop a link up and you can join the Discord and come chat with us and leave your votes there. But our topics for the next poll are adventures, which is pretty self-explanatory. Backgrounds, feats. It's where we get the commoner from. Articles. These are out of alphabetical order because I'm stupid. Sorry. Items. And the last topic on this poll is maps. We've gotten some good stuff out of maps in the past. But I almost said place your bets. Nope. Place your options for the poll. Fitz, if you can't vote in the poll, just let me know what option you would like, and I will add your vote. I will also pop in the chat. I know some people have trouble seeing Twitch polls. I think we did pretty good. And we all had stuff to talk. I knew we all had stuff to bitch about. It was nice.
Not so
And,
much,
like,
bitch.
It's also we're not directing all our issues at the players. Like, clearly, there's other stuff we can work on too. You can always get better.
Yeah.
You're right though. It's not always bitching.
Yeah. And I think, like, you know, it's fine if you got a problem that you need to solve, but most of the time, it's just like honing the craft, you know?
Because, like, just like any other skill, DMing is something you get better at over time. I think a lot of people are scared that, like, especially their first time, they're like, oh, it didn't go swimmingly. I don't think it goes swimmingly for anybody their first time.
Yeah. You gotta, like, I think it's tough because if you're gonna GM for the first time, I would say fucking the way I would do that again is to find again people who have never played D&D. And honestly, my dream is to be like, don't even make characters. I'm gonna give you a sheet. Let's not even fill them out. At the top where it says character name, put your own name. Put Scott, put Aaron, and I'm gonna call you that.
Ooh.
And don't worry about picking a class or anything. If you decide you really want to have magic, we can make you a wizard. But if not, let's just play the game.
I like that. Sounds like a character creation boot camp, but also could be a 0.5 training wheel session. I like this. Just have people get used to the game.
Yeah. Maybe that's how I should introduce old school play to the round table.
Hey, that's not a bad idea.
There's a very famous teaching module for new GMs and new players to like old school play. It's a very short dungeon. That's what I would do.
It's not D&D, though. I shared what I like to use if I'm running a digital, like my training wheel session is always the same scenario, just because it's simple. If it's physical, I'll change it up based on what maps I have out there. But I do like, as far as training wheel sessions go, if you break it down into, like, you can tell people, hey, we're just going to do this one thing. If it turns into combat, it turns into combat. But I know some people are like, I would like you to split this in half for me. Like, teach me how to play out of combat stuff and in combat stuff. That's fine too. I just think it's more fun if it's emergent, because that's really how you're playing the game anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, like, so, I mean, in this particular adventure I was referring to is like literally a teaching module that sets up like basically everything a player, like, it goes through everything. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it has so for players it demonstrates all the key concepts of the game to them, and for GMs every area has a call out of like why things are there. You know, it'll say, like, there'll be a box underneath the description of the room and it'll say lesson, the dungeon is organized, there are patterns, there is hidden treasure, there's also hidden danger, and that's like the lesson for this room. Lesson for another one, hidden treasure can be magical, useful, and sometimes cursed. Lesson, there are deadly traps, the dungeon can be lethal. Lessons, there are secret passages, they, you know, are associated with XYZ. In this dungeon, they're associated with XYZ. I'm not going to spoil it, but
That's actually very cool. And, like, you gotta figure at some point in most worlds, like, someone made a training course.
I look. The most infamous of all training course dungeons is Blue Alley.
What is that? Tell me more.
Please go straight to the DM's Guild. Look, I don't know. I don't know about you. It's not like you have a party in Waterdeep right now or something. Do you?
I do.
Okay, well, if you do, go straight to the DM's Guild, find Blue Alley. I don't know if I have it anymore. Don't really buy it. I'll check if I have it. Or maybe I should say buy it, support the creator. Um,
Wait,
yeah.
no, that's not right.
And anyway, look it up, Blue Alley. It's a fun little dungeon, 5e dungeon, set in an alley in Waterdeep that is like infamous. It is fun as fuck. If you want to play
There
it
we
before you look at it, I will run it for you. I'm obviously not going to use 5e, but I will run it for you. And it's
Ooh, I'd
fun
be
as
curious to
hell,
see you run that outside of 5e, actually.
dude. It'd be fun as hell.
Oh.
Oh my God! Look, the word infamous appears, and that's what I called it. I called it infamous. I'm Leonardo DiCaprioing at the screen right now. I pointed. I infamous. Me. I did it. Anyway, it's good. I totally recommend it. If you want to play it, let me know. I'll run you through it. If you want to run it for your players, fucking, you will not go. It's short as shit. It's a single session. You guys play long ass sessions, from what I remember. So you have to get it done during that session, and it's fun and weird.
Sounds like a challenge.
Yeah. It's literally. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it's an alley, and it starts. You have to sign your name in a book. It's literally a fucking like I hereby agree to the obstacle course type bullshit.
Oh.
Yeah, it's literally as close as you can come to going on a game show.
You
It's
run it
like
properly.
Takeshi's Castle fucking Wipeout, like kind of.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So.
Oh, I just realized I'm looking at specifically the Fantasy Grounds version. I don't care. I don't need Fantasy
Oh.
Grounds. Show me the real
Find
one.
the real one.
Give me that. No, stop taking me here.
Is this the only version they have now?
There are more. Oh, there's a lot of them. Oh, there's so many of them.
The Blue Alley? Is that no? Huh. Well, guess I have to send it to you, like I said.
Wait, there's a bundle? Bundle of
Oh,
what?
man. What a horrible thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
it comes with... Oh, here's a PDF version. Yeah, take me here. Why does it only have one...
Shadows and Secrets of Blue Alley? Wow, I don't really remember it being called that.
No, that's not it. Here we go. This looks better.
Do I...
Oh, this is a new take on it, and I don't care about you. Show me this stuff. Oh, PDF and... Okay, can I... Oh, what? No, it's just the Roll20 version? Whatever. Whatever! One of these. Oh, adamantine. Oh, it is here, but it just says it's for... That's weird. I also have not been on DMG in a while and didn't realize they finished like all their renovations. It looks like a modern website now. Congratulations.
So does this come with the PDF?
It says that this is the PDF, but according to this, it's not, and I'm very confused.
No, this title is not for Roll20 VTT.
Yeah, what are you... Huh? Backgrounds Feats has 2 votes. I will put in the poll in our chat, as long as I don't forget, which does happen sometimes. Apologies. But we'll have our say as well. Though I'm pretty sure we all like backgrounds and feats. That's how you get commoners. I do have some non D&D backgrounds and feats that I think would be hilarious to share as well. I think I have some Troika ones. Oh, was Troika the one where we looked up the chickens? I think so.
I think so.
Troika's
Yeah,
like
sounds about.
a real good game to play if you really like being high.
Well, no.
So happened.
Wouldn't call myself a professional now.
I would.
Yeah, it was Troika. Okay. I have where are they? I have there we go. Give me
Oh
that.
shit.
Background. No, backgrounds on other systems. Ray guns, rockets, and rocket ships is the supplement for Troika. So Grimjack, wherever you might be, this one might be for you. We can go through that. That is going to be silly. Troika is one of those games that I know like fits into my particular brand of chaos, but like I'm scared to spend the time to learn it just in case I don't like it. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like I
Don't
know
do
I
it.
would, but if I don't, then I'll be real sad, so I don't want to learn.
Don't do it.
But I'm sure
Don't do it.
Just like
you can convert some stuff. That I'm not worried about. I'll let my players be a chicken every once in a while. We can play a whole game where everybody's a chicken.
I'll be a chicken. What do chickens like do? Like real chickens, not game chickens. They do fucking any cool shit at all?
They like to
I mean,
fight sometimes.
chickens, like not like hens, right? Like not roosters.
Oh, true.
I guess
Usually it's a
hens
rooster
lay
that fights.
eggs whether they have
Yeah.
fertilized eggs or not. They just lay eggs all the time.
Yep.
Okay. It's just like they're gonna lay the eggs whether they're fertilized or not. That's very interesting.
I was very
Is
confused.
that how
about
everything, all birds do it, or just chickens?
I don't
Did we
actually
fuck the
know.
chickens up? Did we do that to the chickens?
We probably did. I'm gonna
Oh,
guess we
knowing
probably
us,
did.
like the fucking, the files came out. It's probably in there.
That's definitely in the files. What happened to those chickens?
Yes. Ooh, I will also say I did make the post for this week for Patreon and members and stuff. So those of you who are Twitch subscribers, so that's both of you, Fist and Awaz, you will have access to the stuff that we're handing out on Saturday when the post goes live on Discord to coincide with the post on Patreon. It'll be members of the pack and above, so Twitch subs fit into that category. You are part of the pack as well. But I've got my Terramancers up there. I made a sheet. Clubs is defense attacks and shielding options sheet is in there. And I gave you guys access to, you will have access to the seedling scavenger dossier from Shin. All birds do that? Oh, that's weird.
That's fucking sick. In a good way. Like, that's fucking
Reptiles can do it too?
In a good way. Reptiles can too. So you're telling me reptiles just fucking make eggs all the time? Did they just eat their own eggs? Did they just eat their own unfertilized eggs?
You're just out here, I guess, eggs on the menu.
Eggs are back on the menu, boy.
Yeah.
Yo.
I think that's a crazy superpower of lady reptiles and birds. That's fucking sick. I mean, I assume they have to eat more food in order to package some away as those eggs in order to eat them again. But what a sweet little cycle. You probably get sick if you only eat your own eggs, right? Ugh. I don't even want to think about this, but I'm sure there's research that has been done.
There's somebody out there who contemplated the science of this.
Can you look, if you were a postpartum pregnant or ex-pregnant person, could you just live off your own milk too? I know you need food in order to regenerate the milk, but wouldn't that make you sick too? I asked my wife this today.
Never thought about that. That's
I think you'd get sick. You can't just eat your
you
own
have to get.
food.
I think
only.
naturally because there's nutrients, but eventually your body won't absorb it the
I
same way.
think some kind of thing has to happen to you.
Dex, you've come in at a strange time. But no, I think you're right. I think you can keep What? You didn't have to do that, man. Thank you.
Okay.
But oh man.
Well, shit.
I'm pretty sure you'd get sick after a while at least.
Yeah. This has been informative.
Yo, why don't we
Hold
ask
on.
Awaz more like animal questions? Wait, what just happened?
I
Awaz-
like to
Awaz
know about
milk.
animal. Platypus sweat milk? What?
What?
Well, you need new materials in. So if it's like, I can have. I mean, not me, but I can have like.
Yo,
I
Like a
don't know.
rotating cycle, I guess.
I
A
just
reptile or
learned.
whatever could eat crickets or bugs and their own eggs and just like that's it
Oh, maybe.
and be good. That's fucking weird, dude.
I just learned that there's like a line that your nipples are on that
I'm
goes
losing
like.
stuff each time I pee or poo.
yeah, we are.
I'm just kidding.
There's like a
really just wanted
line
to have that kind of reaction.
that goes through your body that like goes from like the tips of your shoulders if you're a lady. It goes like all the way through. There's nerve endings for where your nipples are, and you can technically just grow a nipple anywhere along that line. So like some
That's-
ladies grow nipples after they get pregnant, like in their armpits and stuff, because that's where the line goes down. And I was like, excuse me, what? Excuse me. Wait, it's on their leg? I knew that they had a venom stinger, but I didn't know where it was. It's on their legs? Yo, we are... It is animal... Yo, we are Z Frank now, okay?
Pigeons produce milk? That can't be true. Really? I'm sorry for saying I don't believe you, but that sounds fucking insane. I feel like pigeons are common enough that I might have maybe like stepped in some pigeon milk or something. I don't know.
Stepped in some pigeon milk is crazy.
They regurgitate milk?
Just imagine somebody saying that to me. Yo, you got pigeon milk on my
Milk
jade.
is converted blood and other nutrients. That shit, that's a
Okay.
cool fact.
That
is
is
that real?
metal.
That just made milk the most
It's
metal
real life
thing. Yeah,
alchemy?
you know what?
Dude, that's
No
fucking
wonder
sick.
it makes you have strong bones. It's made of fucking blood.
Dude, I literally thought that like people shouldn't have milk, but now I think they fucking should.
Milk? Yo, milk's about to be in every campaign.
yo, I brought up the platypus venom spur, and all the people who were lurking on YouTube left.
They heard that.
That's the line
Oh,
you're
I'm sorry.
drawing. That's so funny.
Yeah, this is off topic. Hella off topic.
Listen, we need our worlds to be lived in. We got to know all about nipples and venom spurs and pigeons dropping milk.
I gotta look up the milk is blood thing. Is this real or is this iron lung lore?
Please. Pigeon milk. Let me see. Oh. Oh. It's the stuff that they vomit into their babies' mouths. I thought it was stuff from their belly. They have apparently they have a pouch. Interesting.
Pigeon milk. Oh my gosh. Crop milk. I don't know which is worse. Crop
Yeah,
milk or
neither of
pigeon
those
milk.
sound good.
Fucking yucky milk. How dare me what? How
I
dare me what?
My last pigeon story, it does not involve crop milk or anything like that. But I went to the city with Grimjack one time, and we were sitting there, we were eating Chick-fil-A, and there were pigeons all over. And I turned to him and I was like, "Yo, is it cannibalism if they just start eating like our chicken?" And he was like, they're different species, but maybe. And like as we were talking, there's this one pigeon who was just Goomba-ing all the other pigeons. And Grimjack, like, he stopped eating and he looked up, he like slowly turned to me and he goes, did you just see that? And I was like, I'm watching it happen right now. I mean, I guess they get bored. I've never seen a pigeon Goomba another pigeon, but he was just doing it to every pigeon in this little, like, park area we were in. And I was like, what is happening?
Pissed off pigeon. You found a mosh pit pigeon.
Huh. Would it come out like slushies? I have so many ideas for your ice rhyme hammer. I have so many ideas. Ducks are, in fact, the worst.
Why are they the worst?
I'm
big into like DuckTales.
Oh, those ones are fine. But like actual ducks as a species are so prone to non-consensual sex with one another that the females have developed like a labyrinth inside of themselves.
Oh yeah, I know about the weird stuff.
Yeah.
That's very strange. But you ever have like Peking duck?
I actually have not, and I feel like I should try it
Man.
once.
Duck is delicious.
Hmm.
Duck is delicious. It's like steak in the shape of chicken.
You have my attention.
That's what it is.
Ooh.
And yeah, Peking duck is good. Sometimes crispy skin when it's good. Yum.
Hyenas too. Hyenas have like all kinds of fake parts, and I'm like, that's why they're laughing all the time. Nobody knows what's going on.
Fake parts. Okay. I gotta get up really early and think about these fake parts.
You're gonna be staring up at the ceiling in the middle of the night.
I'm gonna be playing Slay the Spire in bed, thinking about them fake parts.
All right, y'all. I think we're calling the stream quits for tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us every Monday night. Next week, we will be back talking about races, species, lineages, sub-races, whatever you guys want to call them these days. It's all the same. And then the polls will determine what we do 2 weeks from now. But so far, it looks like Background's Feats are winning. So thank you all for tuning in. Bye, everyone on Twitch. I'm sure I will talk to you in like 35 seconds in the Discord. Bye.
Take care.
Good night, guys.
And everyone on YouTube, I'm waiting for Nightbot to catch up. Come on, Nightbot, you can do it. Come on. Come on, put it in the chat. Put goodbye in the chat. You can do it. I see they changed the mod icon on YouTube as well. That's new. There we go. Okay, bye, everyone.